are booking future trips, and many of them are seniors. Royal Caribbean's Singapore operation is running right now, and the company says 80% of passengers are first-time cruisers. The cruise line lost nearly $4 billion because of the pandemic.
Are you sure you just have allergies? During the pandemic, many are wondering how to tell if you're sniffling and coughing or allergies or if it's COVID-19. And it's that time of year when tree and grass pollen and mold are in the air and irritating our immune systems. Weather Authority meteorologist Matt Devitt has been telling us it's just getting worse lately. The CDC says seasonal allergy and COVID symptoms can overlap. Robert Hawks, the director of FGCU's Physicians Assistance Program, says just be on the lookout for symptoms that are unique to each condition.
People do have seasonal allergies. They know kind of late winter, early spring when things start to come out.
And symptoms that are more common with COVID and not allergies include things like diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, and a fever. And if it feels just too close to call, experts say your best bet is to contact your doctor's office or go get tested for COVID-19.
Shipment delays have affected many of you looking to get your COVID shot. Coming up next, how quickly one county can get the vaccines off the truck and into your arm.
Plus, preying on your fears around the coronavirus. New at 6 o'clock, the sneaky ways criminals are reaching out to steal your information and the red flags that will give them away.
And an embattled governor signs off on $600 stimulus check. Why he's opting to beat the U.S. Congress to the punch.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Happy Valentine's sale. This is Marty.
Chevy buyers are kissing your deals goodbye, Marty.
No, they're not.
Yeah, everybody's hooking up with Victory Lane Chevrolet.
Okay,
it's like a marriage made in Detroit.
I think they're made in Warren, Michigan.
Okay, wherever. Point is, Victory Lane Chevy has fantastic deals during their Sweetheart Savings Event. 500 to choose. It's love at first sight, Marty.
Hey, stop, would you?
Everybody finds their perfect match.
Just stop.
On hundreds of Victory Lane Silverados and Equinoxes. That's plural for Equinox, right?
Who knows?
Or is it Equini? During Victory Lane Chevrolet's Sweetheart Savings Event, fall in love with a new Chevy today. Kiss your old trade goodbye. And say hello to new 2021 Chevy Silverados, just $375 a month with zero down. New 2021 Traverse, just $389 a month, zero down. And you'll never be brokenhearted with our goal of 100% credit approvals. We'll see you at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com. Find new roads. Stock number SC1148 and E1006. 39-month lease, 10K miles per year. Taxes and fees extra. All rebates to dealer. Offers for current lessees with approved credit and do not combine. Expires 2/28/2021.
Let Naples Shutter enhance your home's beauty and increase its value. From our legendary all-wood plantation shutters, made right here in Naples for over 40 years, to luxurious blinds and shades, to the unique island appeal of Bahama shutters, Naples Shutter has you covered with a lifetime guarantee and over 40,000 satisfied customers. Call 239-566-8161 today for a free estimate. That's 239-566-8161 or visit naplesshutter.com.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station. 92.5 Fox News.
He's recovering. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. We got an update on Tiger Woods a few hours ago after the golfer's bad car crash.
That Twitter message referring to Tiger says, quote, he is currently awake, responsive, and recovering in his hospital room.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt outside the UCLA Medical Center.
When you take a look at the video from the scene of the accident, it could clearly have been so much worse. Woods is lucky to be alive, according to the LA Sheriff's deputy who was first on the scene. Woods was extricated located from the vehicle, having suffered serious leg injuries.
Woods had surgery, screws, rods, and pins inserted down his badly broken right leg and ankle. President Biden loses in court again. The same federal judge who initially blocked an order putting a 100-day moratorium on most deportations has made that ban indefinite. The Trump-appointed judge siding with Texas, which argues the new Biden policy is illegal and costly to the state. The new administration is also under scrutiny for reopening a facility used in the Trump era to house immigrant children as Customs and Border Patrol deals with more people crossing.
CBP is encountering more than 3,000 arrests per day, 78,000 in January of this year alone, compared to half of that last year. Now, Border Patrol officials tell me the changes Biden has made is the, quote, pull factor that's driving these numbers, starting with the lifting of the Remain in Mexico policy.
That's Fox's Griff Jenkins. The House is hoping to pass its version of COVID financial aid, $1.9 trillion worth, by Friday. But it's not as easy in the Senate, where Democratic leader Chuck Schumer is frustrated by GOP opposition.
A majority of Republican citizens are for the bill.
Republican lawmakers complain it's full of spending not pandemic-related, including a $15 minimum wage. And today, the Senate's parliamentarian could decide if that provision can be included in the complicated budget reconciliation process that's being used to pass this bill, perhaps without any Republican votes. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News traffic.
Good Wednesday morning. The midweek commute is really getting busy around Southwest Florida. We have slowdowns already on Estero Parkway, heading east of US 41 to Three Oaks. Three Oaks is congested if you're heading north towards Estero Parkway as well. Collier County commuters, we are busy on 951. Traffic starting to slow down heading towards Green Boulevard, as well as delays slightly on Immokalee Road if you're heading west towards the interstate. If you're in Lehigh Acres, the slowdown is on Jaguar heading east to Columbus. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, after the coolest start, nice warm afternoon with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Highs will be topping out in the lower to middle 80s. A few limited showers can't be ruled out. Best opportunity for that will be inland and east of the interstate. We are looking fantastic for your Thursday. Highs in the 80s, mostly sunny, and it actually gets even warmer towards the weekend. A lot of beach and pool time expected. Plenty of sunshine, plenty of warmth. Highs in the mid to upper 80s to even near 90. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Need to know what it takes for a home loan to fit your budget and your family? Rocket can.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau. You can count on us for great service. You can count on us to get it done. You can count on us for a price that's fair, and quality is second to none. For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Most people that buy their own health insurance think once they have chosen their ACA plan during open enrollment, they're stuck for the year. This is simply not the case. You can change at any time, no problems. If you are fairly healthy and don't need mandated coverage like maternity, you can save 30 to 60% with Health Plan Network. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. You owe it to yourself to see if you qualify for a better plan that can save you money with lower deductibles. Go to healthplannetwork.net to request a quote. That's healthplannetwork.net. Or call Tim Cooper, an expert with over 23 years experience, at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Act now to see if you qualify to save 30 to 60%. healthplannetwork.net. Sensible solutions.
There's always a better way, and we will always chase after it. We're building a cleaner energy future with millions of solar panels, and we're using the latest technology, investing in energy that's not just the most reliable or the cleanest, but also the most affordable. As we see it, the horizon is always moving, and to chase it is to deliver America's best energy value for you and for Florida. See how at fpl.com/value.
I'm John Morgan. All law firms are not the same. As America's largest personal injury firm, we have more trials, more lawyers, more office buildings, and more caring staff members than any other injury law firm in the world. There's really nothing else like it. Our reputation and results speak for themselves. With more than 2 million people just like you calling us every single year, your trust in us means the world to me. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Dial pound law on your cell. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. There's the talk and text line. Stream live, drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. We always appreciate you watching the program, whether at YouTube or Facebook for the time being as well, at Drew Steele Radio. Hey, coming up, just asking, when's an insurrection not an insurrection? Is that a bold statement to make? I mean, I'm just asking because many people have decided that rather than being told what took place, who committed the atrocities of January 6th, how everything went down in their eyes, and thereby you're not allowed to question what happened. There are people that are brave, that are bold, that are doing things like actually investigating and looking into certain things like insurrections and wondering, is that really what this is? Our good friend Julie Kelly, American Greatness, as you know, at our first Fridays at Seed to Table, last Friday of February, the first Friday of February, when she was with us and we were doing a little discussion on COVID and some of the things that are happening here in the state and obviously at Seed to Table. Julie Kelly has a great article, An American Greatness, where she's asking the question, and she was on with Tucker, as a matter of fact, no proof January 6th was an, quote, armed insurrection. Not one person has been charged with possessing or using a gun inside the Capitol. Further, no one even has been identified as carrying a gun inside the building. So are we allowed to ask that question? 239-479-5592. Maybe if you want to comment on this and whatever else we're talking about this morning. And we're going to get into more detail on that. Again, I think that one of the things you're going to discover on today's program is something that you know and I know, and it's very fundamental, and it's this. We're done with the left telling us what is and isn't. We're done with the left telling us what is their truth, not the truth. We're done with people who are going to insist that you're not allowed to talk, you're not allowed to ask questions, you're not allowed to investigate, you're not allowed to bring up anything that we tell you you're not allowed to bring up. And as a matter of fact, we will do everything we can in our power, whether it's the media, whether it's the legacy media that's doing it, local, state, or national, helping along with it, whether it's rip and read reporters, whether it's even Hollywood, who made the conscious decision to put out certain movies and has done that for the longest time and use it specifically for the purpose of changing and turning an election, as opposed to getting to truth in any way, shape, or form. And there's proof of that. Do you remember who's Sacha Baron Cohen? Jake the Millennial is a big fan of, you know who Sacha Baron Cohen is? No, you don't know who that is at all?
Yeah, but I don't care.
That's right, I know you don't care. That's the Borat guy. For those that don't know, Borat, right?
Yep.
Do you remember that Borat, that movie came out just before the last debate, before the election? And I forgot the name of it. Borat, I'm an imbecile and I'm going to try to make everybody else look like one. It was part 2. Is that what the, I'm not sure if that's the name of the movie. I don't know. But there's audio that I'm going to play in just a little while of how he admitted on NPR that the sole purpose of making the movie was to change an election and to take people off what was this very, very important issue of Joe Biden and what he was doing and the things we were finding out about Hunter Biden and the laptop and the connections to China, China Joe, everybody knows the song, and make it about this shiny object that was something completely different, specifically for the purpose of doing what I just described, to change an election. So I do this again to reinforce what you already know. And for those that may be listening for the first time, watching for the first time at drewsteele.com, Steele has 3 E's, to hear it for yourself so that you will understand what it is we're talking about and been talking about. And listen, always remember that when you hear certain things on this program or other programs throughout the day, know that if it's something that you hear that is reinforcing to you, or it's something that you feel like you already know this, these are just portions that you can take with you and tuck in your back pocket that you can sit with your friends and family and have the discussion about, and you never know who's listening over your shoulder, whose heart and mind could be changed by the facts and the truth as opposed to what they've been fed. You'd be surprised. It happens all the time. All right. Once again, 239-479-5592. And a reminder that tomorrow we will not be in this studio. We will be live at CPAC. How about that? CPAC tomorrow and Friday, along with my good friend Mike Opelka, who will be joining me for both days as we broadcast live from Radio Row. The president, former President Trump, will be there over the weekend. And his first appearance out at CPAC, it's going to be exciting. You know, CPAC is always a lot of fun. Great guest surprises. Who knows who's going to come over to the table? And the fun part is it won't be the first year. Well, actually, it will be, right, Jake? This will be the first year that you'll get to watch and see everything happening at CPAC. I'll have all the cameras set up, and you'll get to see everything taking place as well. So don't forget, drewsteele.com. So a couple of things. Yesterday was an interesting day on Capitol Hill because, you know, now what's going to happen along with Democrats trying to push a $1.9 trillion stimulus package, even though there's been a whole lot, billions of dollars, close to $1 trillion that hasn't even been spent yet from the last stimulus, even though we're not talking enough about reopening the country and businesses and the reality of what the data is and is not when it comes to COVID and masks and no masks and vaccines, like Dr. Fauci, who's saying, listen, if you've been vaccinated, don't get carried away with doing indoor dining or anything like that. You still have to, whoa, wait a minute, time out. We thought the whole vaccine thing was where we needed to be and, you know, not overwhelming hospitals. And remember, 15 days, it's been 355 days now, 15 days to stop the 30-day spread, to stop the economy, to shut it all down, to get kids out of school, only to find out that there are teachers' unions that don't want the kids back in school and teachers back in school because, you know, there's a money thing going on and really no data that would support that being a super spreader event. And speaking of super spreader events, no super spreader event after the Super Bowl that took place in Tampa that we were told, oh, man, this is going to be awful. But, yeah, the data shows quite the opposite. As a matter of fact, numbers are going down precipitously, if you want to use that word, across the country. And yet somehow with the vaccine, we're now going to be vaccinated, but you still can't see your grandkids. How does that work? You got to ask the Fauci. On the heels of all of this that's taking place, and even Democrats who aren't even sure whether or not they want to go for the $1.9 trillion stimulus for two reasons. Number one, because they probably know that not a whole lot of it is going towards COVID relief. And I'm going to give you the numbers coming up. But also the second part, which is the $15 minimum hour wage that is attached to it, that Democrats don't seem to want to get away from, and how it's clear that the Republican Party is now becoming the party of the working class, of the working man, the blue-collar workers. Interestingly enough, it's not a bad thing, and believe it, there are Democrats that are freaking out over that. But then on Capitol Hill, the discussion about the January 6th breach on the Capitol was marked by what? According to justthenews.com and Susan Katz-Keating, who was writing about this, marked by intelligence breakdowns, senators said in concluding statements following a hearing. Comments came following hours-long hearing in which former Capitol security officials testified about events related to the breach. And let me just put it this way. I'm going to play a clip about, a minute long, maybe less? Here's a clip of Josh Hawley, Senator Josh Hawley, who wanted to question Capitol Police, who wanted to question Sergeant-at-Arms Michael Stenger and House Sergeant at Arms Paul Irving and the former U.S. Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund, the acting chief of the Washington, D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department, Robert Conti, because the impression that was given is that these were the people who were at fault. And yet there are many who have questions about why there was no immediate response. How do you have hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million people in Washington, D.C. gathering for a rally and not have the kind of presence with National Guard and police that you would have regardless of who it was that was there in Washington, D.C.? Does it make a difference politically? If you've got hundreds of thousands of people gathered in an area that is near the center of our federal government, don't you bring in guard? Don't you bring in security? Don't you do that as a natural habit of things? Who wouldn't do that? That's a big question. But then here, listen to this. You've got a retired lieutenant general who was appointed by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to review the security posture surrounding the breach. Remember, Nancy Pelosi has a lot of questions to answer with regard to what she knew and what she didn't know about the security that was needed and asked for. But the former president gave the permission for National Guard to be used and why it was not there and whose responsibility was it, who knew what, when, how, and why. And there are big questions about this. So the person that was appointed by Nancy Pelosi to review the security posture has decided that the blame was going to go everywhere else. And listen to this exchange. This is Josh Hawley, who was asking, I took out, there was some audio issues with some of the others that he was questioning, but one of them is important, and then the summary of this. Listen to this exchange.
Speaker Pelosi has asked retired Lieutenant General Russell Honore to lead an immediate review of Capitol security in light of the attack. The general has said that the leadership of the Capitol Police, that'd be you, Mr. Sund, and both of you, gentlemen, the House and Senate Sergeants at Arms, he's criticized you for, and I'm quoting now, the appearance of complicity during the attack, and also said that you were potentially undertook complicit actions. Those are his words during the attack. Mr. Sund, were you complicit in this attack on January 6th?
Absolutely not, sir. I've heard those comments as well, and I think it's disrespectful to myself and to the members of the Capitol Police Department.
Mr. Stinger, were you complicit in the attacks on January 6th?
And then he answered no, and so did the others. But take a second and think about that. Something's wrong here, everybody. Something's weird going on. We're allowed to question, we're allowed to ask questions. Does anybody find it odd? I know you don't, but again, this is just about arming you with information and giving you what is the truth and what people have been saying and then asking questions. Isn't it odd that Nancy Pelosi would appoint somebody to, quote unquote, review the security posture surrounding the breach at the Capitol on January 6th? And that person would accuse others not of not being prepared, not of not dotting the I's and crossing the T's, not understanding how many people were going to be there and some paperwork that got lost in the shuffle. No. With being complicit in the violence. Complicit. That's shocking, is it not? Josh Hawley was like...
of course, none of you were. There's absolutely no evidence to that effect. And Mr. Sund, I think your comments are appropriately taken to allege that any of you, were complicit in this violent mob attack on this building, I think is not only extremely disrespectful, it's really quite shocking. And this person has no business leading any security review.
Yeah. That's Josh Hawley yesterday at this hearing, talking about the breach at the Capitol on January 6th. More questions open than answers, and one of the big questions that people are asking is just what we said. Why would Nancy Pelosi, somebody who was yet to question what she knew and didn't know about the breach and the need for security and being able to have security, National Guard there and Capitol Police and what they were doing, the National Guard being called in, and what she didn't know, and then after everything is said and done, bringing in somebody to review only to tell people that the Capitol Police, Sergeant of Arms, the Metropolitan Police Department, they're complicit. Those words specifically. That's outrageous. And again, it brings questions about this that we're told we're not allowed to ask, we're not allowed to talk about, but we're doing it anyway. Sorry. At least here I am. So I want to take a break, and then when we come back, I want to talk about Julie Kelly, who was on Tucker Carlson's show yesterday, and her great article at American Greatness. I mean, the great Julie Kelly, American Greatness. You see how that all works out. No proof January 6th was a, quote, armed insurrection. Are we allowed to ask this question? She does. We are. Tucker's doing it. Maybe you should as well. 239-479-5592. And it's important because at the end of the day, it's important because enough is enough. You are not going to be told by the left what to think, what to believe, how to act, how to speak to somebody. Anything like that. Those days are over. All right, we'll get to that coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, DrewSteele.com if you want to watch. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching, and we appreciate Sabrina Katz with traffic.
A disabled vehicle in Lehigh Acres at Lee Boulevard in Alvin is blocking the left turn lane onto Alvin from Lee Boulevard. So keep this in mind heading this way. There's also a delay in Gateway on Griffin Drive north towards 82. The average speed is only at 22 miles per hour. But Gateway Boulevard, fully up to speed. The Daniels extension is slowing down if you are heading towards Gateway Boulevard as well. Also, Daniels congested east of Fiddlesticks to get onto the interstate. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, after the cool start, high temperature of 83 degrees, mixture of sunshine and clouds, few limited areas of rain.
Well, hey, good morning, everybody. Hello, Southwest Florida. I just wanted to say good morning, and I wanted to see who was watching this morning, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube. Just want to see if you're there and if you're watching, because I'm curious to see with our discussions lately and the like, just that we're still broadcasting, we're still out there, you still have an opportunity to watch the program. Reminder, don't forget tomorrow and Friday, it's going to be really cool because I can't wait to have the cameras ready so you can see what's going on at CPAC. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you just want to say good morning, Tiffany Ann, good morning from Naples. Good to see you. So I'm just watching here on our feed and to just say good morning to you. I'm so glad that you are here. That's a nice picture. Look at you guys. So just want to say good morning. So if you're watching in the comments or reactions, could you just say hi so I can say hello to you? And know that you are watching. Good morning, Anna's here. Good morning, good to see you. Maybe it looks like it's a slow day, slow morning. If you're there on Facebook, YouTube, you're watching. All right, let's see. They're starting to pop in now. Good morning, there's Laura. Good to see you there. Let's see, who else is there? Jessica Wittenberg is with us. Good morning, Jessica. Good to see you as well. Let's see, is this Gail? All right, Gail Wall. Gail, you're in South Africa right now. Where exactly in South Africa? Tell us where exactly you are. We'd love to know. Addie's in Ohio. Where are you in Ohio, Addie? Let us know. A cute dog. Look at that. All right. So good morning, Addie. What is this? Pie. Hello. Good morning. Good to see you, Gary. Always good to see you. Good to see you, Gary. All right, Kate Dunn, good morning, Kate. How does your dog drive? Is that a driving dog? That is very impressive, very impressive. Hello, Adele. Good morning. Are we looking okay? Hold on, let me just adjust. All right, I'm gonna stop doing that. That's not nice. What is it? Face hack. You got a broken arm. Uh-oh. So you got a broken arm, and you get to listen. Why? Because you're at home with the broken arm? Is that what it is? All right. Doug, good morning. Appreciate that. That is a sweet ride. That is a... Okay, I'm going to guess, Doug. You ready? The ride that is at a Torino, Is that a Ford Torino? I'm just guessing. All right. I hope that's just a guess. Good morning, Vicky, out on the Cape. Good to see you. All right, Gail, you are where? Western Cape, Plettenberg Bay. I'm going to look that up as soon as I'm done talking to everybody. Why are you LOLing me, Trev? Why are you LOLing me? All right. Mike and Murray. And Mike's in Kentucky. And you look so young to be listening to this program, but I appreciate it. Very good. So you're home. Okay, so Shane is home, broken arm, home, listening more. Gotcha. All right, Michelle. Good morning. Good to see you, Michelle. And let's see, Maggie is, Chris, Fort Myers Beach. Just flew in from snowy Ohio. Welcome to the warmth and the fresh air of liberty. Hola. GMR. So just want to say hi to everybody. Thank you all for watching. We appreciate it. All right, more are joining in, so it's good to see you. And, hold on a second. Ooh, a Roadrunner. All right, very nice. Yeah, that was not even. All right, so it's a Plymouth. So, gosh, I wish I would have known that. I could have impressed you. All right, that was close. Taz all the way up here in Punta Gorda. Okay, that's not very nice. I see what you did there. All right. Good morning, William Roseberg. Good to see you. And Peter's out on the Keys. How are things in the Keys lately? I'd like to know that. I'd say how's fishing, but I can't imagine fishing's bad on the Keys. Or at the Keys. Or in the Keys. Depends on which key. All right. I got to go. All right. We'll see you all in a bit. Thanks for watching.
Consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Southwest Florida, Lee County Fair.
The 97th Annual Southwest Florida and Lee County Fair starts tomorrow at 4 p.m. with $1 Day. That's $1 gate admission and $1 rides with a minimum of $10 purchase. Parking is free. Mega Pass sale ends tomorrow, so don't wait. Visit swflcfair.com for details and specials. Following CDC guidelines.
Southwest Florida, Lee County Fair.
Being involved in a legal dispute can leave you feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Understanding the law and the rules of evidence can mean the difference between winning or losing your case. If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm Alan with Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions. My 6 years of service to my country taught me a lot about integrity, trust, and getting the job done and getting it done right. I have integrated much of my Army training into the business. And I mean integrated. I'm actually standing here recording in my fatigues. I understand that it may seem that there are more pest control companies than bugs, but our company is very different. A lot of pest control companies are what we call spray jockeys. You see bugs, and they just come and spray. You see more bugs, so they spray more. My team's approach consists of understanding what's causing the bugs to come in. Sometimes it's something as simple as caulking or patching holes. Spraying is not always the answer. If you're tired of the spray jockeys and want real pest control solutions, call us, Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions, today at 595-4867. That's 595-4867. Now serving Marco, Naples, Bonita, and Estero.
This is Lois. At Wink News, we're on the phone. We're on the beat. We're on the scene.
We're working every angle. We're working for you.
From breaking news to the Weather Authority.
More than 60 years of reporting excellence is a reputation earned. How do we do what we do?
Sorry, I can't talk right now. Sorry, I'm too busy.
We tell you how we're doing it.
Sorry, I'm on assignment right now. I'm on a deadline.
If we weren't so busy doing it.
Getting it first, getting it right.
Trust Wink News, weeknights at 6.
Next, Rachel.
I love it when a plan comes together.
You can call this the Parm Plan.
Just the right amount of mozzarella, too. Hold that.
A super classic eggplant parm.
It's gonna be delicious.
Then, Superstore's Lauren Ash has an interesting game plan for game night.
So what you're telling me is that this point system benefits the people who answer the question last?
Plus, a pup date on Muttville's Senior Dog Rescue. Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
I wish people would learn to come in sooner. Unfortunately, by the time they come in our stores, they're almost desperate. They've been struggling trying to find a solution for their problem. They're looking with hope in their eyes. You've got to be able to help me.
You're listening to Beth, an arch support specialist at the Good Feet store.
A construction guy comes in and told me, I'm afraid I'm going to get fired. My feet hurt so bad, I can't do what I need to do at work. You gotta help me. It's unbelievable how quickly the product changes some things for some people.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
When you're able to help them work more efficiently, more comfortably, and they're back and doing things that they've been wanting to do, things that they've missed. I go home every day proud of what I've done.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
Wink News traffic.
A disabled vehicle in Lehigh Acres at Lee Boulevard in Alvin is blocking the left turn lane onto Alvin from Lee Boulevard. So keep this in mind heading this way. There's also a delay in Gateway on Griffin Drive north towards 82. The average speed is only at 22 miles per hour. But Gateway Boulevard, fully up to speed. The Daniels extension is slowing down if you are heading towards Gateway Boulevard as well. Also, Daniels congested east of Fiddlesticks to get onto the interstate. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, after the coolest start, nice warm afternoon with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Highs will be topping out in the lower to middle 80s. A few limited showers can't be ruled out. Best opportunity for that will be inland and east of the interstate. We are looking fantastic for your Thursday. Highs in the 80s, mostly sunny, and it actually gets even warmer towards the weekend. A lot of beach and pool time expected. Plenty of sunshine, plenty of warmth. Highs in the mid to upper 80s to even near 90. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I am mad at everything going on.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
It's Fred Kobe with Kobe Cooling. I was lucky enough to hear my friend Rush Limbaugh on his very first broadcast in Florida over 30 years ago. After more than 24,000 hours of listening to Rush, I feel like we're buddies. I've always been proud to advertise in his time slot because we love Rush Limbaugh. My father and I used to talk about Rush every day. It gave us some commonality, and I'll cherish those moments forever. We pray for Rush's wife, Catherine, and his brother and family, and we hope that God's healing hands finds them. And until we meet again, Maha Rushi, mega dittos from all of the Kobes at Kobe Cooling. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313.
Is your car a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it? Would you rather be driving a brand new Nissan equipped with all the latest technology and safety features? Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan. If your trade-in is a 2012 or newer, yes, a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, we'll give you the original base MSRP for it so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Bring us that old Chevy, Honda, Toyota, Ford. We don't care where you bought it from. We don't care if you bought it new or used. Go to NaplesNissan.com. Pick out your favorite new Nissan model with Bluetooth, backup camera, and that new car smell. You can have it all today after we pay you what you paid for your trade-in. Don't wait. Get full details at NaplesNissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra-low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000, mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we understand Florida weather. With New South Windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency for storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get the third free. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Sashal. Sashal, that's a cool name. Did your parents give you an interesting middle name too? Yeah, you know, a lot of people hate their middle names, but I actually think mine's really pretty. It's Distance. Distance? Sashal Distance? Yeah, and hey, meet my sister, Quarantina.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I guess there was somebody on Jake the Millennial's favorite place to go watch videos and more. That's on TikTok. And so there was a woman saying, you know what? You do realize that people are going to start naming their babies due to the pandemic. And so her claim was that maybe people will call themselves like social distance, get it? Social distance and quarantine. Never mind. It doesn't matter. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live each and every day. DrewSteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. You'll get to watch us live at CPAC tomorrow and Friday. Myself, along with Mike Opelka, will be joining me both mornings, and special guests. Who knows who'll be showing up. But you get to see it, so you'll get to watch all of that. Just make sure you tune in tomorrow and Friday. And tell your friends. DrewSteele.com, the website. Steele has 3 E's. And again, you can take the website with you because it's great for your mobile device, phone, your app. Not your app, your phone. You use it on your smartphone or your smart device. You already know the whole drill. Okay, that's fine. All right, back to what we were talking about before. You know, a lot of questions about what happened on Capitol Hill and Capitol Police, who did have some interesting comments yesterday, where one side, we discussed Nancy Pelosi's pick to review what was happening that day. Remember, Josh Hawley was shocked to point out to Sergeant-at-Arms Michael Stanger and House Sergeant-at-Arms Paul Irving and the former U.S. Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund that the choice to review what happened that day by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who was Lieutenant General Russell Honore, said that they, and blamed them, said they were complicit in the violence at the Capitol. Complicit? Do you realize what that means? Shocked they were and outraged by it. And isn't it interesting that on the other side of this, we got 2 conflicting reports here, 2 conflicting stories as to what happened on January 6th, because if you're asking Capitol Police, they're testifying at the Senate committee, dissecting the events leading up to January 6th. The claim is, no, it wasn't a spur-of-the-moment attack. It wasn't what the left wants you to believe, that this was something that the former president spurred on, a spur-of-the-moment attack. Get to the Capitol, and no, nothing like that. But it was planned and coordinated, and more information is coming out about how things seem to be coordinated well before the president showed up. And law enforcement officials that were in charge of the response were the ones that were talking about this. How dozens of protesters were able to break through the Capitol's front doors, get within inches of working lawmakers. Democrats want you to believe this whole thing was set up by Trump and it was Trump supporters that did this, but quite the contrary. As more and more people have been discussing and even testifying, that these were planned and coordinated days, if not weeks ahead of January 6th. That the suggestion by former Capitol Police Chief Sund was that the rioters studied Capitol Police strategy. They knew the building's weak points. A significant, coordinated attack. People that were there at the time who were saying things like this, that it just doesn't seem right, that there were groups, coordinated groups, that were getting together at specific times. You know, ball caps, MAGA hats turned backwards with the bill on the back, and the way they were dressed, the attitude, the way they were making their way toward the Capitol. There were people that were watching and have very serious questions, and so does Capitol Police. Somebody's right and somebody's wrong, everybody. And these are the kind of things that have to be investigated and continue to get to the facts and the truth about this, regardless of where it takes us. And the problem is that I think the left, and I think Nancy Pelosi, and I think Democrats know full well where this is going to take us. How many times on this program and other programs did we talk about flyers that were being put out, people discussing, getting together? Even Jake the Millennial was talking about this, how, you know, he was was it subgroups that you were looking on Reddit and other places? Where were you? Remember, I don't know what it was, and maybe I'm wrong, so I don't want to say this out of turn here, but didn't you say that there were places that you were noticing well in advance of January 6th that people were kind of talking, or there was this talk of coordinating at the Capitol, and you had concerns about that? I mean, I might be wrong, but I thought that we had conversations about that.
I mean, it was, but it never seemed like it was going to be violent.
Yeah, until it was. But the point is that there are things that we're being told that we're not allowed to talk about, not allowed to take it in that direction, not allowed to bring it up, that Democrats are going to go after Capitol Police and others who are going to suggest this was coordinated. Their evidence is there to suggest it was who was it specifically? I just want to make sure that I'm right about this. It was the Metropolitan Police Department acting chief, Robert Conti, who was saying that he believes as well that it was coordinated. They continue to scrub social media, learning more and more, clearly a coordinated effort. And this was before, well before, and not by Trump supporters. But the questions as to who were the groups that did coordinate this. And again, I go back to what I was saying before. We're going to ask questions. We're going to continue to ask questions. We're going to continue to talk about this. There's no reason why we should not ask questions. There's no reason why this should be put to rest and we should move on. Because we can walk and chew gum at the same time, everybody. We can talk about this and explore this, and also talk about the horrendous policies of the Biden administration and what he's trying to do. And
not a joke.
And there's a lot of stories there that are coming out this morning. But again, Julie Kelly, the great Julie Kelly, who was on with Tucker yesterday and has a story in American Greatness that I encourage you to go to, amgreatness.com, and read the story for yourself. No proof January 6th wasn't, quote, armed insurrection. Not one person been charged with possessing or using a gun inside the Capitol. Further, no one even had been identified as carrying a gun inside the building. And it was Julie Kelly on Tucker's program, just in case you missed it, who was talking about this because he brought up the article. And what about it? What about this specifically? As a matter of fact, when Merrick Garland, who says more ums and uhs in one minute conversation than somebody else we know. That's not nice. It's true, but anyway, yeah. Here's Merrick Garland, right?
Confirmed. I will supervise the prosecution of white supremacists and others who stormed the Capitol on January 6th. A heinous attack that sought to disrupt a cornerstone of our democracy, the peaceful transfer of power to a newly elected government.
Now, let's just stop there. Merrick Garland says it. Does that make it true? Was it white supremacists? Do we have evidence? Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence to show that everything was coordinated, was brought up, and every single person that entered that building was a white supremacist? Unless there's a little bit of, well, let's just say, unless Merrick Garland is saying this to go with the Democrats' talking point, which is Donald Trump, white supremacist, thereby that's who you are. And just being there, the Capitol, makes you one. And of course, even before any investigation is happening as to the specific people and the coordination of the individuals who breached the Capitol is concerned, we don't need to know anything. You're wearing a MAGA hat. You clearly, who in the world, I mean, Jake, it's ridiculous to think about this. Who would wear a MAGA hat and a flag or be draped in a MAGA flag or anything like that? Who would do that? Do you really think that people who coordinated something ahead of time and wanted you to believe that they were MAGA supporters would wear a MAGA? Are you kidding me? If you put a MAGA hat on, your skin would sizzle and just you couldn't do it. No, I'm serious. I'm asking you. Are you suggesting that people wouldn't do that? Like they wouldn't wear MAGA hats and MAGA gear and to look like they were supporters when they weren't supporters? Like nobody's ever done anything like that. That's a ridiculous notion. Who would do that? Anyway, okay, so Tucker's like asking Julie Kelly, well, what about this? And what Merrick Garland said, and even about her article in American Greatness.
So, Tucker, I know that you will be shocked to learn that the armed insurrection trope that we've been hearing for the past 6 weeks is not true. Of the more than 200 people arrested so far, mostly with misdemeanors, trespassing, and disorderly conduct charges, only 14 people have been charged with any type of weapons violation. Only a handful of those people actually used any kind of weapon, pepper spray, a helmet, a riot shield against an officer or against the building, actually, not to downplay what they did. But, Tucker, only 2 people have been charged with any kind of firearms violation. Now, when most people hear armed insurrection, they think of guns and ammunition and firearms.
Yeah, and firearms, right? So what about that? Is she right? What about the media and what they say? And even in the article, media continue to promote any number of fabricated storylines intended to bolster the laughable narrative of a quote-unquote insurrection occurring at the Capitol. When's there an insurrection, not an insurrection? That was my words. The concocted account of the death of Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick. How about that, everybody? Recently fell apart. The New York Times, after pressure from outlets including American Greatness, effectively retracted its January 8th article. What was that article? Claimed that Sicknick was killed by a fire extinguisher at the hands of Trump, quote-unquote, loyalists. And remember, the president, Joe Biden, ran with that story as well. And always remember what the left will do, even with the New York Times retracting the story. Even with the family yesterday saying that wasn't the case. Do you honestly think that Democrats in the House and Senate, that maybe even some members of the media are going to stop saying it? They won't stop saying it. They'll keep bringing it up because they know that there are enough people that will just go along with what they say and not do any exploration of their own, that they will just run with it. They're banking on it. Questions, right? Here's another portion of the great article from Julie Kelly in American Greatness. So now it's time to straighten out another twisted tale animating the folklore of January 6th. The idea that random chaos amounted to a, quote, armed insurrection. Hundreds of crazed Trumpists carrying deadly weapons, the public believes, stormed the Capitol to injure or kill senators, representatives, and even Vice President Mike Pence in order to avenge a, quote, unquote, stolen election. Most news outlets, as they did with the coverage of Sicknick's death, unflinchingly repeat the armed insurrection trope, which you just heard about, which she just described, traced back to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's January 7th press conference, where she said yesterday the President of the United States incited an armed insurrection against America, the gleeful desecration of the U.S. Capitol, and the violence targeting Congress and horrors that will forever stay in our nation's history. And remember, this is the same Nancy Pelosi who decided to go to a retired lieutenant, a Lieutenant General Honore, who was the person who was saying that Capitol Police were complicit in the violence at the Capitol. Starting to see a pattern here. But like everything else that exits the mouth of the Speaker of the House, her description isn't only flat wrong, but also manufactured for wicked political purposes. When a thinking person hears the word armed, quote unquote, he usually thinks of a firearm or a gun. Yet, here's how the Justice Department describes the trove of deadly weapons seen at the Capitol that day. During the course of the violent protests, several violent protesters were armed with weapons, including bats, pepper spray sticks, zip ties, as well as bulletproof vests and anti-tear gas masks. By the way, the zip ties, is important to note, weren't brought into the building by Trumpists. They were there, put there by law enforcement officials. It's just that a couple of people got hold of them. And she reviewed the charges filed against more than 200 people arrested for criminal misconduct related to January 6th and found only 14 defendants face any sort of weapons charge. Offenses vary. Indictments range from possession of a quote-unquote deadly weapon on restricted grounds to assaulting a police officer. But so far, just 2 people have been charged with unlawful possession of a firearm. There's no proof of either man, quote, breached the Capitol, let alone threatened lawmakers as part of a coordinated armed insurrection. As she put it, do the idiots who used any sort of weapon to harm an officer or damage property deserve to pay for their stupid and violent actions? Yes. Was January 6, 2021 an armed insurrection, quote unquote, or anything close? As she puts it, no. Look, I bring this up and I encourage you to read this story because the left is going to tell you what to think, what to believe, their truth, not the truth, and you're not allowed to say anything. And if you dare question, taking you down, social media, how you'll be doxxed, what else will happen to you, and the things and places you can and can't go. Just asking questions, everybody, just asking questions. 239-479-5592. DrewSteele.com is the website, DrewSteele.com. Steele has 3 E's if you want to watch. It's mobile friendly for your smartphone or device. And you can go to YouTube and Facebook for the time being at Drew Steele Radio as well. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh. The District of Columbia is as liberal as any American city. In 2016, they voted for Hillary 91-4, just to give you an idea. I mean, it's a liberal paradise, supposedly. So this news is amusing. Less than a month ago, Washington voters approved a big minimum wage increase for people who get tips as part of their income. The vote guaranteed a minimum wage of $15 an hour by 2026, by which time a lot of residents will have died. But the D.C. City Council has decided the voters were wrong. You see, in the poorest areas, the unemployment rate's over 9%. That's way worse than the rest of the country. So the City Council liberals, they looked at what happened to Seattle. They raised the minimum wage, a bunch of restaurants closed, a bunch of jobs were lost. So the Washington City Council decided they didn't want to have any jobs lost. It's bad enough as it is. So less than a month after it was approved, these liberals are going to kill the minimum wage increase. They'd rather have jobs. They'd rather have people working than talking points. It doesn't happen often. Sometimes even liberals have to face reality. But I predict they'll screw this up somehow because they never get it right in the end.
Benjamin Franklin once wrote,
"Nothing can be said to be certain, except death and taxes."
Hold on there, Benji. You can't even rely on that much thanks to identity thieves.
Pardon?
Tax forms have all your personal info in one place. And this is the season when it can get emailed, shared, and possibly exposed to identity thieves. They might even try to file your tax return before you do.
This shan't stand.
No, it shan't. Because LifeLock monitors your info and alerts you to identity threats. If you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based specialist will help fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but LifeLock helps you keep what's yours. Join today and save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS for 25% off at LifeLock.com. And remember,
25% saved is 25% earned.
The Diamond District has the largest selection of GIA certified diamonds at the most competitive prices in the world. Jason and Todd have partnered with De Beers in Canada and Africa, and they've traveled to Israel, Antwerp, and India to select the most beautiful diamonds. Visit the Diamond District today for your best diamond buying experience.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with TriFound with the TriFound Financial Team. Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with TriFound, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Insurance products offered through TriFound Financial, LLC.
I was asked the other day if I could explain romance. Hi, it's Joseph Edison. I pondered that for a few moments. Wow, I'm not sure. Romance, it's a mystery, like the deep blue sea. Romance is when somebody makes more time to spend with their sweetie, and we help people do that. Closet Factory's master designers can make time for more date nights, and better organization clears the mind, giving you and your sweetie time to better concentrate on each other. Ah, romance.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Well, I was really surprised, and, he's doing so well. He's getting the back in shape, and then a thing like this happens. He's had a big problem, as you know, with his back for a long period of time, and it's amazing. He won the Masters, and he won the Masters with a bad back, which tells you the level of talent is incredible. And he's been working on that, and then he has this happen. It's just tragic. He's overcome a lot, and but, he's had an incredible life, and he's going to continue to have an incredible life, but now he'll recover from this. It's pretty bad on the legs, I understand, and, he'll figure a way.
Comments from the former president about Tiger Woods and the accident. Tiger Woods recovering from major surgery on his right leg, apparently from that accident earlier in the day, a high-speed single-car accident outside of Los Angeles, and the president commenting on Fox News yesterday about Tiger Woods. Coming up, Spencer Roach is going to join us. We'll talk a little bit of Tallahassee news on the way.
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission. That was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs, 239-992-2626, 239-992-2626.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Tiger
Woods is now in recovery mode. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, and a lot of people had feared the worst right after his bad car crash.
You know, he's always been an idol, an icon, so it's kind of sad to see everything, happen like this.
Tiger being one of my heroes, it's hard it's going to be a hard one to swallow.
Well, they're at a golf club in Orlando while Tiger Woods recovers now out of surgery in California on his badly broken right leg.
And the chief medical officer here at Harbor UCLA gave some details on those injuries, saying, quote, fractures affecting both the upper and lower portions of the tibia and fibula bones were stabilized by inserting a rod into the tibia.
That's Fox's Jonathan Hunt outside the hospital. He says screws and pins were also put in Woods' foot and ankle. Another setback in court for President Biden. Fox's Rachel Sutherland explains live.
Dave, a federal judge in Texas has blocked the Biden administration's 100-day moratorium on most deportations. The ruling by U.S. District Judge Drew Tipton, a Trump appointee, does not require deportations to resume at their previous pace. Judge Tipton's decision came as a 2-week restraining order was set to expire. Texas had argued the president's deportation freeze violated federal law. There's no word yet on whether the Biden administration will appeal the ruling. Dave?
Rachel, a fresh round of protests in Rochester, New York. Angry, a grand jury decided not to charge any police officers in the death of Daniel Prude last month while they responded to a mental health duress call.
Body cam footage shows the 41-year-old black man handcuffed and naked with a spit hood over his head while he was being held by an officer before he stopped breathing.
Fox's Shannon Bream. When video came out months later, the police chief stepped down amid the controversy. The FAA has ordered all Boeing 777 jets with the type of Pratt & Whitney engine that failed on a flight Saturday be grounded. United is the only U.S. airline flying, though investigators want all the engines inspected for stress cracks. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News traffic.
The crash at Evergreen in North Tamiami is slowing traffic at this intersection. You can easily avoid this if you just stick to US 41. Also, commuters on the interstate, it is slammed as you're heading southbound. No surprise there. Also very busy on MLK Boulevard, making that westbound commute into downtown. And if you're in Lehigh Acres, slowdowns on 23rd East and West between Sunshine and Gunnery. Lee Boulevard is starting to slow down as well, heading west to Gunnery. Fastest option right now, State Road 82. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, after the cooler start, nice warm afternoon with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Highs will be topping out in the lower to middle 80s. A few limited showers can't be ruled out. Best opportunity for that will be inland and east of the interstate. We are looking fantastic for your Thursday. Highs in the 80s, mostly sunny, and it actually gets even warmer towards the weekend. A lot of beach and pool time expected. Plenty of sunshine, plenty of warmth. Highs in the mid to upper 80s to even near 90. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
We've been waiting for COVID-19 vaccines to be developed. Now, waiting for them to get to us. But you can do more than wait. You have powerful ways to help slow the spread right now and protect your family and loved ones too. Here's how. Watch your distance. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. It's risky to be indoors with them too. And of course, avoid crowds. Also, wear a mask. CDC reports masks protect the people who wear them and folks around them. And wash your hands using soap and water for 20 seconds. And do it frequently. Vaccines won't make COVID go away overnight, but they give us a real chance to finally overcome it. As long as we keep watching our distance, wearing our masks, and washing our hands.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
When was the last time you ate at Spanky Speakeasy in Naples?
Hi, I'm Emily Monty, owner of Spanky's. We have been a Naples landmark for over 35 years, but my husband Ted and I have brought Spanky's back bigger and better than ever. Along with lunch and dinner, we now serve Naples' best breakfast served 7 to 10:30 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Dine inside amongst thousands of vintage antiques and memorabilia or outside on our open-air waterfront patio. At Spanky's, we are known for serving Naples' best prime rib and fresh seafood, along with an array of American cuisine. Don't forget to stop by our full-service bar to enjoy your favorite speakeasy cocktail and daily happy hour. Spanky's is now open 7 days a week. Sundays we feature live jazz entertainment on our patio for your enjoyment. While providing a friendly atmosphere, Spanky's is known for our southern charm. But more than ever, your safety and comfort is our #1 priority. Visit Spanky's today on Airport Pulling Road, just south of Golden Gate Parkway, Naples.
What's that switch in your kitchen do?
Nothing. Flick it on, off, nothing happens.
Weird.
Now, if it would turn on the overhead fan, that would be cool. Can't get that to work either.
Frustrating.
You know, this is what's wrong with humanity. We think we got it all figured out, but we don't even know what the switch is supposed to do.
Dave.
Think we can build a spaceship that takes us to Mars when we can't even get a switch to work?
Hey, Dave.
I swear, we're never gonna leave this solar system. We'll be stuck on this planet forever until we all go extinct.
Dave, what's the best case scenario?
Best case? Well, I make a call, someone comes and connects that switch to something, like maybe that overhead fan.
That's best?
Well, sure, but...
That's Best. Best Home Services. They have 4 electricians and 4 trucks right now waiting for your call. They'd have that switch looked after in no time.
Well, I feel a bit silly now.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
So maybe
we can go to Mars.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. That is the talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. You can go to the website. Appreciate that. Also, YouTube and Facebook, if you want to, at Drew Steele Radio as well. All right. State Representative Spencer Roach is joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. And I'm so glad that Spencer is joining us because, boy, do I have a lot of questions about some of the things that are going to be happening this legislative session. So, first of all, Spencer, good morning. How are you, my friend?
Drew, good morning. I hope you can hear me okay. This is the first time that I'm not calling you from a rotary landline phone, but I'm using some earpods that I got for Christmas, so I'm getting into the 21st century here. A
rotary phone, really? Is that what the quality of the rotary is absolutely spectacular. And, we just have to figure out how to get a rotary phone that we can hold in our hand. See, that's the real thing. If Apple can come up with a rotary phone you can hold in your hand with the quality of a landline, see, that would be impressive. This other stuff don't even worry about it, Spencer. It's just technology isn't all it's cracked up to be.
It's overrated.
Yeah, it is. All right, that's all the time we have today. Thank you very much. Anyway, all right, look, a lot of things to talk about. Let's just dive right in, shall we? Coming up, the upcoming legislative session, the big issues. Start with whatever you feel it would be the first thing that you want to tackle, because I have a lot of questions about some of the other things that we'll be discussing this morning. But go ahead and hit the ground running right now.
Yes, Drew, so thank you. So a lot of this dovetails in what you were talking about. I heard you talking about Julie Kelly and American greatness and insurrections. And, Florida really is emerging as the face of resistance to these draconian big government lockdown policies. And because of that, Florida's under attack. I mean, you see things like the Joe Biden administration talking about shutting down travel to the state of Florida while at the same time opening borders. And you see Stephanie Murphy, a congresswoman from Orlando, that came out just this week and said that in order to save democracy, Republicans must be defeated. And she's talking about right here in Florida. And I think this battle is well underway. In fact, we see this playing out here today. Today is the day that the governor of the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, has ordered flags around the state to be lowered to half-mast in honor of a great Floridian and Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient Rush Limbaugh. And you see Nikki Fried in open defiance of that order and saying that agencies under her purview are not going to comply. So you see these battle lines being drawn right now with her trying to challenge the governor's clearly legal authority. And I think just the hypocrisy is great, where we can have the flags lowered nationwide for someone like Whitney Houston, but they're resisting us doing that here for Rush Limbaugh in the state of Florida, a great Floridian. But really, if you remember that old movie from the 80s with Patrick Swayze, Red Dawn, when they had the Wolverines and they had Free America, I think really Florida is Free America, and we're doing great, and the left can't stand it.
Well, it's true. I can't tell you, number one, how many times that I've had people come into Southwest Florida, people that have come here and say the same thing over and over again. I can't believe the state of Florida and the way it feels like things are normal here almost as compared to where I came from. Like the air feels different. The attitude is different. The fact that the businesses are open and in certain places that we all know about how they've been able to handle their business with mask mandates and the like, and how important that is. And Spencer, you can even speak to this, not only to what we've been able to accomplish in the state and the good things that we've been able to do even during this pandemic, as far as the best that we can, being better than other states and certainly not doing the kind of draconian lockdowns like you mentioned, but also what that does to the psyche. I mean, you cannot take that away from Florida. You can't take that away from the equation. The psyche of Floridians and how they feel and how they react to things on a daily basis compared to some of these other places up north where there's no hope.
Yeah, and Drew, what you're seeing now is, what I call, and this is not tongue-in-cheek, this is what I believe, when you look at sort of the migratory patterns of socialism, you look at Cuba, you look at Venezuela, anytime socialist comes to power, the first thing that happens, anyone with any money gets the hell out of there, they leave. And you look at what's happening in Florida, you have these COVID refugees who are fleeing these lockdown states, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey. They are coming to Florida in droves. I mean, well over 1,000 people a day moving here. You can't buy a house in the state of Florida right now. You look at our real estate market. So not only in Florida, but people around the country are recognizing that this is where freedom lives. Florida leads. They are moving here to escape these draconian lockdown regulations. And as a result, you see people like Governor Newsom and Governor Cuomo talking about even more draconian tax hikes on the remaining citizens that are left in their states. But yes, people are coming here because we're free. And you look at our numbers, Florida's doing great. We have the second highest geriatric population in the country outside of Maine, which has a much, much smaller population. And we are doing fantastic, especially when you compare us to somewhere like New York. And you see the media refusing to cover this scandal with Cuomo, yet they're going after Ted Cruz for taking this trip to Cancun. You can't make up this type of hypocrisy.
Yeah. By the way, State Representative Spencer Roach joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Jake here. It's on the table. I owe Jake $5 because he said that you would make a Red Dawn reference somewhere and Patrick Swayze, and I was like, he's never going to do that. So good job. Good job there. By the way.
Hey, it's going to be Red Dawn or Die Hard, which is a great Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas movie. Don't do that to me. Don't get this debate started. By the way, just a quick aside, as we talk a little bit more about what's happening in Tallahassee, we're going to dig in more. I just have to tell you this aside. I saw Red Dawn in a movie theater in New York, and let me just tell you something. If you've ever been to a movie theater in New York, do not do it. Do not ever go to a movie in the state of New York, especially in the city, in Manhattan or anywhere in the boroughs, because you can't watch a movie because in New York, everybody screams at the screen. They're constantly talking over what the people are saying. They're yelling at what's going on as if the people are real that are standing in front of you. It's a horrible experience. So I'm just telling you.
Well,
and if you're from New York, you know it.
You don't have to worry about that. That's illegal in New York right now. You can't go to movies there.
No, that's right. Yep. That's good. Very, very good work, Spencer. Right there. You get a little ding for that. Okay. All right. Let's get into some of the. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, let me shift into sort of what's happening in Florida and why we are such a free state. I want to talk about three things that are happening. First of all, House Bill number 1, which has been filed, it's made it through every committee in the Florida House. This is the anti-mob, anti-riot legislation that Governor DeSantis asked us for. It's poised for a vote on the House floor. It's ready to go. So this is the legislation that's really going to crack down on rioters, looters, and people who seek to injure police officers in Florida. Bottom line, if you do that in Florida, you're going to jail. Number 2, House Bill number 7, which is the COVID liability protection. This is going to make it very, very difficult for people to file frivolous COVID-related lawsuits against businesses. What we're seeing is that some of the members of the trial bar want to just shake down these businesses. This is a move to extort money out of Florida small businesses. We're not going to let that happen in Florida. And finally, just recently, just in the last 2 weeks, Governor DeSantis has declared war on what he calls the big tech cartels. We now have a bill in the House Bill 969, to do two things: protect consumer data, and then fine these big tech companies $100,000 a day if they deplatform a candidate for elected office. So we are going after them here in the state of Florida. And of course, I've also filed a bill to really address cancel culture on college campuses and ensure that our college campuses in Florida remain a place for the free exchange of ideas. So, Ronald Reagan famously said, find an issue that 80% of people support, stand beside it, and smile. And I think that's what you're seeing our governor doing, and Floridians support this.
Yeah. No, I would agree. And I'll ask you this question, because this is something that I think is very important as well. I want to make sure that you or somebody, I want to make sure is keeping track of some of what is going on as far as mandates, that we do something when it comes to mask mandates or any other mandate that's going on in the state that we feel is unconstitutional, that we have individuals that are willing in the legislature to say, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to have state mandates across the board for anything that has to do, especially with not only what's going on with COVID, Spencer, but also some of the emergency powers that have been given to the governor in the past that go way back to the Patriot Act. And we've got to actually talk about this, the kind of powers and the emergency powers that a governor has, because where you may say, look, this governor is not doing the kind of things that others will do. This governor is not going to be in office forever. And as a matter of fact, Republicans are not going to be in the governor's house forever. And there'll be a time. And then ultimately, I'm concerned about that time. I'm concerned about that person using emergency powers that they would have in a case like this where they would abuse it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Drew, let me talk about that. First of all, I agree with you, but I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure Republicans are in power forever. But I recognize what you're saying. And listen, we are all over this. So House Representative Bob Robel here out of Collier County has filed a bill. It's House Bill 945, which seeks to address many of these issues at the local government. And we're working with the governor's office to put in place provisions in the bill to address to put some guideposts up on the governor's emergency powers. And listen, this is not a shot at Governor DeSantis. I think he's done, along with Kristi Noem, the two best governors in the United States handling COVID.
Yeah, no doubt. Not a shot, right.
But look, we need to make sure, and again, this is unprecedented. It's never happened. I think the governor certainly did the best that he could with the information he had at the time. But we want to, if Governor Gillum or Governor Fried were in office, we would still be in lockdown. Our economy would be in tatters, and there would be no road to the way back here in Florida. So we want to make sure that if a Democrat does assume the governorship at some point in the future, that we have some guideposts in place about very clearly defining in statute what they can and can't do. And we want to make sure the legislature is involved in that and acts as a check on executive power, which is really one of the reasons for the existence of a state legislature. But yes, we have recognized this. We are all over this. It's House Bill 945. Bob Robel is a sponsor. I'm a co-sponsor. We are absolutely working on this. You're very insightful in calling that out. But that's on our radar, high priority for the Florida House.
All right, State Representative Spencer Roach joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Before we go, anything else you want to touch on? Certainly discussions about the budget and appropriations. Anything you want to discuss?
I'll just say that when you look at the number of bills filed right now, it's historically low, and I think you're going to see very little policy make it to the governor's desk. We're going to have a historic number of bills, a low number of bills passed, and that's because the big fight this year is going to be about the budget. We are facing a pretty steep revenue shortfall, and there are only two Republicans that have made a pledge not to file any appropriations, and that's myself here in Lee County, and then Representative Anthony Sabatini out of Howey in the Hills, a Lake County Republican. And, those projects have so far cost the taxpayers up to over $2 billion. And we feel that at this time in particularly, member port projects have no place in the state budget. So that's going to be a big fight, along with keeping Florida free and open and resisting the federal government and their draconian crackdowns here. So remember the 10th Amendment. And that's all I'll say, Drew. Have a great day.
All right. I appreciate it. Spencer Roach joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. State representative and doing a great job. All right, Spencer, we'll speak soon, okay? All the best.
Thanks, Drew. Have a good day.
All right, we'll see you. All right, there he goes. Look, I just want to make sure everybody understands that the governor is doing an amazing job in the state. You know it because of what Spencer mentioned, and the same reason why Kristi Noem is always being targeted is because the successful states that are run by Republicans are going to be targeted by the left, the media, Democrats, all the same thing. They're all going to target this state because, well, number one, they're jealous because we have such success here in the state doing the exact opposite of what places like California, New York, and others have been doing. They know it. And of course, they want to take shots at this governor because they don't want him to be in office in 2022 and certainly not a contender if he decides in 2024. And so you can expect that. But at the same time, let's make sure we understand what else is happening. We have places in this state, Miami-Dade County and other places where they have curfews and where they have draconian mask mandates and different things that they're doing to these specific areas and the businesses that are affected in Miami-Dade. If you want to call out a specific area, Miami-Dade, Broward, and what they're doing there and how they're harming those people with the policies that they have put in place, where others outside of the area are seeing success, as far as you can say, success in the time of COVID right now and what we got going on. But seeing success and having businesses open and being able to have dining in a certain situation where there are others that would say, no, you're not allowed to do that, when the science and data does not suggest that would be the case. And so my concern is that ultimately that there would be a governor that would be in charge, that would be someone like an Andrew Gillum or Nikki Fried or anybody like that, that would look at the opportunity of emergency powers that are brought in due to the Patriot Act, and some that are being used and in some places around the country to go against their citizenry. And I want to make sure that we don't have that issue here in the state of Florida. There's no reason why the legislature can't address that. And if anything, it's being proactive as opposed to reactive. All right, 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5. Fox News, DrewSteele.com is the website you can watch. Don't forget, we're live tomorrow and Friday. Excuse me. Oh, that was weird. From CPAC. We're going to be live from CPAC. Looking forward to that tomorrow and Friday, so you can watch at DrewSteele.com, the website. And your smart device, smartphone, you can watch wherever you are so you can see everything taking place. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. All right, let's find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
A crash on the interstate at mile marker 141. Emergency vehicles on scene. It is a bad crash here. So if you are heading southbound towards Palm Beach Boulevard, really make sure to just use lots of extra caution. Leland Heights westbound is shut down in Lehigh Acres from a crash at 5th Avenue. This is heading west towards Richmond. You can take Maple Street to Shady Side. This will get you back onto Richmond. Also, a disabled vehicle at Lee and Alvin, backing up traffic on Lee Boulevard. Almost a mile of creep and crawl delays. West of Gunnery, stick to Leonard. The trip to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, after the cool start, high temperature of 83 degrees, mixture of sunshine and clouds. Few limited areas of rain will be possible, especially inland. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's a new year and a fresh start. And a good time to freshen up your air conditioning system and indoor air quality. With our Southwest Florida weather, it's a good idea to have your system cleaned and checked by a conditioned air technician at least twice a year. Left unattended, small issues become big issues. Cars need regular maintenance, so do air conditioning systems. Conditioned Air, the comfort people since 1962. 1-888-COLD-AIR and online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
Getting a little extra is always a good thing. Getting up to an extra $8,000 for your old car car? That's incredible! For 3 days only, hurry to Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral for the incredible trade-in event. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday only, get an extra $8,000 overbook value for your vehicle when you put it towards a new Nissan. Your $2,000 vehicle is now $10,000. Your $10,000 vehicle is now worth $18,000. You get an extra $8,000. Sutherland is taking all trade-ins, no matter the year, make, or model. So if you thought your car was only worth a few $100, not anymore. It's worth up to $8,000 at Sutherland Nissan. Incredible? You bet it is. And it's why this is the incredible trade-in event. But hurry, this event is now through Monday only. If you ever wanted to get a lot of extra money for your old car, this is it. Rush to Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Shop online at nissansales.com or capecoralnissan.com. If it doesn't say Sutherland, you paid too much. See dealer for details.
Trust. It's not a concept. It's a commitment.
Reliable and honest every single day.
At Wink News, we're committed to reporting the news that matters for you.
Thank you for trusting Wink News. This is a big story.
And that affects you.
We're coming to you live.
Because if we're asking for your trust, we will continue our commitment to be trustworthy.
The reason people trust us is the people that work here.
With 6 decades in the community, trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
On the next Drew Barrymore show, Design Week continues. What are we making today? With quick tips on creating contemporary spaces. And full frontal, Samantha Bee, plus Ben Platt. He's bringing Broadway to the big screen. Dear Evan Hansen, I love this play so much. All new Drew.
Drew, today at 3 on Wink.
There is nothing that changes as much as tax law. After all, there have been tax changes, stimulus dollars, changes on the changes, but they're all meant to put more money in your pocket. Don't make a mistake that could cost you thousands. Let EG Tax be your tax interpreter and guide. Come join the EG Tax family at their Naples office across from Tamiami Ford. Call 239-262-2009. That's 262-2009. Or click egtax.com. That's egtax.com.
You need a fast, reliable network. So get fast, reliable internet from Comcast Business and add advanced security with Comcast Business Security Edge. They have 24/7 support, it's fast internet, and advanced security made simple. Bounce forward with Comcast Business.
Tune in on Sunday mornings, Fox News 92.5, Dr. Amy Robbins, and Maximize Living Radio. I'm going to be going over topics like leaky gut, weight loss resistance, how to fix your chronic aches and pains, how to deal with all of those things in a natural way, how to sleep better. So there's a different topic every single week that we're going to be covering. Tune in and get the help that you need.
Hey, it's Drew Steele visiting with my friend TJ, owner of the Floormeisters in Naples, where if you're talking Core-Tech, you're talking Floormeisters. And the one thing that I love, TJ, is when we're talking about pricing, you got to be straight up with the pricing, right?
Yep, we buy more Core-Tech every day so we can sell it to you cheaper. I buy it by the pallet, by the truckload, so you're making sure you always get the lowest price possible. We keep it here in our 15,000 square foot store. Big selection, big, beautiful showroom to make sure your wife gets exactly what you want, Drew.
Yeah, and how about me? You know, I like to get what I want as well. And also, of course, the color selection, right? You got some new ones.
Got 100 colors right now, and we're adding about 10 to 15 from Core-Tech that just came out for 2021.
So you want to see it for yourself? Go to the Floormeisters. You're going to really love it. 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco. Give them a call, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
True relief for back and neck pain. In my office, Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, every day I talk with patients that for so many years just suffered with back or neck pain. Many just assuming that it was normal or something they had to live with. They'd tried injections, epidurals, or even surgery with no success, always looking for a chair to relieve pain or always dreading pain while sleeping or getting out of bed. It's time to treat the root of the problem. Please don't think there are no other options. You can overcome problems from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, bulging degenerative discs, or scoliosis. Non-surgical spinal decompression can change your life. Think of how much happier you'd be without pain. This Medicare-friendly treatment combines science and technology to offer a state-of-the-art, non-surgical procedure that is remarkably effective. We always offer a free telephone consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate for spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, we're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Your new home is calling you to live the good life, starting now.
River Hall is where it all starts. A true paradise. River Hall is one of the Gulf Coast's most exclusive master-planned communities, where country club living meets the casual, barefoot Florida lifestyle. River Hall's Davis Love III Championship Golf Course is one of the top-rated courses in the Gulf Coast area, and you'll love River Hall's private oasis pools, bike paths, fitness center, tennis and bocce courts, and more. Live large with homes priced from just the 500s to the 800s from Pulte. The Pulte collection of breezy, open floor plans offers something for every lifestyle, with upscale finishes and features designed for elegant, gracious living. Here's to finally finding the perfect place. Here's to home. River Hall is just 20 minutes east of Fort Myers in the River Shores District. Come see model homes now. Visit liveriverhall.com. That's liveriverhall.com.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Biden has held his first one-on-one meeting with another world leader since taking office, speaking with the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau over live video instead of at the White House because of the coronavirus pandemic.
Prime Minister Trudeau and I share an unwavering faith in the capacity of our peoples to meet the challenges of this new age if we lead with our core strengths.
They say their top priority is climate change. The golfer Tiger Woods has had surgery on his badly damaged right leg after a rollover crash in California. Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva tells Fox it's a tricky stretch of road.
It's downward and it has a curve to it. So if you're not attentive to the speed or to the road itself, it's very easy to, stray from where you're supposed to be, and you're going to encounter that center median.
He says there were no signs of driver impairment. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News traffic.
A crash on the interstate at mile marker 141. Emergency vehicles on scene. It is a bad crash here. So if you are heading southbound toward Palm Beach Boulevard, really make sure to just use lots of extra caution. Leland Heights westbound is shut down in Lehigh Acres from a crash at 5th Avenue. This is heading west towards Richmond. You can take Maple Street to Shady Side. This will get you back onto Richmond. Also, a disabled vehicle at Lee and Alvin, backing up traffic on Lee Boulevard. Almost a mile of creep and crawl delays. West of Gunnery, stick to Leonard. The trip to the Minute Traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, after the cooler start, nice warm afternoon with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Highs will be topping out in the lower to middle 80s. A few limited showers can't be ruled out. Best opportunity for that will be inland and east of the interstate. We are looking fantastic for your Thursday. Highs in the 80s, mostly sunny, and it actually gets even warmer towards the weekend. A lot of beach and pool time expected. Plenty of sunshine, plenty of warm. Highs in the mid to upper 80s to even near 90. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
I won't give up the ship.
Talking about what matters.
This country is too great to throw over to communism. I love it.
92.5 Fox News.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Water everywhere. You can't swim in it. You can't stand drinking it. Heck, it's so bad it's on the news every day. Hi, I'm Rob Hill from Bob Hill Plumbing. We've invested over 66 years here in Naples, bringing you clean, drinkable water for your home or condo. We realize we can't fix the water problems everywhere, but we can definitely clean up the water inside your home. Our government does their best to deliver safe water for use. But wow, who wants chlorinated yellow water at every faucet? Let us install a Halo home filtration system and remove all the bad taste, color, and odor from your water. Halo removes 99% of all chlorine, ammonia, and all the bad-tasting chemicals in our municipal water system. Call Bob Hill Plumbing today and let us install a Halo water system in your home so you can once again enjoy clean, bottle-quality water at every faucet. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or bobhillplumbing.com.
Southwest Florida is home to the finest boating and fishing waters in the United States, and there's no better place to see all the boats, accessories, gear, and gadgets than at the 32nd Annual Bonita Springs Boat Show, March 4th through the 7th at the Bonita Springs Poker Room, formerly the Greyhound Track. It's all outdoors with plenty of room. See hundreds of boats from all the major dealers at Southwest Florida's biggest springtime boat show. There's a boat for every budget and every need. Marine accessories, engines, boat lifts, services, how-to boating info, and fishing seminars by Coastal Angler Magazine. Dealer inventories are very low, and this is your last chance before summer to see all the boats and gear on display in one place. It's also your best chance to order a boat for your return to Florida in the fall. Thursday, March 4th through Sunday the 7th at the Bonita Springs Poker Room, Bonita Beach Road between I-75 and US 41. Visit BonitaSpringsBoatShow.com for complete details.
Hey, Southwest Florida, it's your friend Tyler McCluskey here, coming to you from 92.5 Fox News. Again, we're just promoting our brand new show, The Tyler McCluskey Show, every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. Every week, we're going to have a new guest on, local businesses, helping you grow, everything that you need to know, the insurance space, mortgages, real estate. Please visit our website at www.tylermccluskey.com and tune in this Saturday at 11 a.m. on 92.5 Fox News.
As we go through life, many times we try to plan and prepare for every possibility, thinking about our future, thinking about our families. But many times in life, we're hit by surprise, sometimes great ones and sometimes terrible ones, even tragedies. I have found that most of our clients never thought about who they should call if they were injured. I wouldn't either. What's your plan? I hope you never need us, but if you do, know that we'll be there for you. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell.
Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Kennedy at 3 and drive home with Trey Radel at 5. Now, back to Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592. I give you the phone number now because coming up at 7:50, Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Have a little bit of fun with some civics and politics. It's a great way to learn, especially if you are the Utes of America and you're not getting it there from your typical public school. And,
Did you say Utes?
Yeah, 2 Utes. Yeah, I said
what is a Ute?
The Utes, you know. And so that's coming up. And also, don't forget we have a $50 gift card to Naughty Hog Backyard Barbecue, a brand new location. They've got 3 locations in Collier and a brand new location at the shops at Vanderbilt there in Naples. So you will get a $50 gift card to Naughty Hog Backyard Barbecue just for playing Drew's College, and that up at 7:50. So get ready for that. All right, a couple of things I wanted to mention. Steve Deace is going to join us coming up at 8:05, and he's got a fantastic show, Blaze TV, as you know, and we're going to just go into a couple of different issues. Critical race theory, I wanted to get his thoughts on that. It's been popping up in the news lately, and you need to know what's going on, plus some of the news of the day. I have to tell you this. I don't know what Liz Cheney is thinking right now. Liz Cheney, who has absolutely no problem going after the former president of the United States, talking about January 6th, and on the heels of what we are finding out more and more information about the January 6th breach on the U.S. Capitol, and how we have 2 different stories being told right now. We have 2 different situations that are going on. There are a lot of questions, and it's not something that's very cut and dry. We're going to have to continue to hear more from the hearing that will be taking place there on the Capitol about this, and more about both sides to get to the heart of the issue, which is one thing that Liz Cheney has been bringing up. And she's more than happy to do interviews like she did the 3rd-ranking House Republican who was talking at an event, a Zoom event, hosted by the Reagan Institute. And again, saying what she has been saying, and there's a point in all of this, saying what she has been saying, again, reiterating what she brought up in the past about the former president of the United States and the breach of the Capitol on January 6th.
It really is incumbent upon those of us who are elected officials. It's incumbent upon those who serve, incumbent upon everybody who takes an oath of office and swears to protect and defend the Constitution.
Yeah. Hey, do you ever, can I just ask Liz Cheney a question? Do you ever bother to go after Democrats the way you go after the former president about swearing to uphold the Constitution when they are constantly not upholding the Constitution of the United States? When they could care less about the Constitution? Do you ever bother to take any time at all going after them instead of going after the former president? It's like she has one place to go, one mindset on this, and everybody else is just fine. All right, just continue.
That we recognize what happened on January 6th, that we commit ourselves that it must never happen again, that we recognize the damage that was done by the president, President Trump, saying that somehow the election was stolen, making those claims for months, and summoning the mob and provoking them then in the attack on the Capitol.
Yeah, no. We don't agree with that. He didn't summon mobs. Why does she keep doing this? Who is she trying to impress? The big question is, because there are many Liz Cheneys out there. There are many people. She just happens to be the third highest ranking House Republican. But there are many people out there in Congress who are talking and thinking the same way. What's her motivation? Anybody ask, like, why do you continue to talk about this? Is it because you're trying to protect the brand of the Republican Party, of the GOP? Is that what it is? Because I'm trying to understand what you think the brand is and has been before Donald Trump came along. And again, why you continue to go after the president, especially when you're doing the left's bidding. What do I mean? It's really simple. This is the kind of thing that you don't want to hear from a Republican. Are you ready? Listen to Liz Cheney's words carefully, because this is important. In the same conversation, when asked about the Republican Party, when asked about what we do next, moving forward past the former president, which, be careful, you don't want to do that. Do not dismiss Trump supporters. Do not dismiss supporters of the president, and certainly do not dismiss people who understand what policies worked and which ones have not for years and decades. Don't do it. But listen to what Liz Cheney said, and everybody from Yahoo News to NBC to CBS to The Independent UK, The Guardian, everybody across the board jumped on this. Because here's what Liz Cheney said, and it's the only thing that they're going to care about. And listen to this.
It's very important for us to ignore the temptation to look away. And it's very important, especially for us as Republicans, to make clear that we aren't the party of white supremacy.
To make clear, we aren't the party of white supremacy. I never thought that the Republicans were the party of white supremacy. I don't know of any Republicans who ever thought that was the case. As a matter of fact, it sounds like you just gave the left talking points. It sounds to me like what you've done is, hey, Senator, how long have you been beating your wife? You fell right into the trap. You fell right into the trap. You gave the left everything that they wanted, Liz Cheney. Why are you doing this? What's your motivation? People who supported the former president of the United States are not going away, and they're not going to change their mind because you want to go back to a party that did what? You didn't fight for us. You didn't do it. And I want to say this too. Hold on a second. Let me just play a little clip of this again.
It's very important for us to ignore the temptation to look away. And it's very important, especially for us as Republicans, to make clear that we aren't the party of white supremacy. You certainly saw anti-Semitism. You saw.
Okay, I can't even go on. So she's playing right into the left's talking points. She's giving it to him, feeding. And if you go onto the Google verse right now and you type Liz Cheney into Google, this is what pops up. She's the third ranking House Republican. When she talks like this, Does that make you want to be part of the Republican Party? Who wants to have someone like Liz Cheney representing them as a Republican? I mean, talking this way, like suggesting that, yeah, we got people, you know, they can't believe we got to make it clear that we're not the party of white supremacy. Hey, Senator, how long you been beating your wife? Wait, hold on a second. I can't believe you would give that to him. And the left does that on their own. And another thing that I heard this morning that I wasn't prepared to talk about, I'll be honest, either one of these two issues I was not going to talk about this morning, but when I heard this, it just ticked me off. I got to be honest. Because just the same way that Liz Cheney decided to feed right into the left's narrative and say, you're a bunch of white supremacists. No, I'm not. I'm going to do everything I can to prove to you that I'm not. Okay, I'm not personally. And I don't want to be part of any party. Not that I am, but I don't want to be part of any party, the Republican Party, that's going to be run by a Liz Cheney who's going to make me feel like somehow I am one and I have to let everybody know that I'm not. But there's an idea that I could be and that if it's out there that we have to prove, we have to do something. Do what? What does that look like, Liz Cheney? What does it look like for a party to prove to the world when you're not a white supremacist that we aren't white supremacists? What does that mean? Doing what? What kind of policies are you going to put in place? What kind of things are you going to do with my tax dollars to try to prove to a side that's laughing at you, that is loving and eating it up and just lapping up every word that's coming out of your mouth to make it look like what they've been saying is effective? It's working. Look at her go. Look at her go. Why do I need that and her when I've got people like Sacha Baron Cohen who is admitting that he was using his film in 2020 to rig an election? They don't do that in Hollywood. That's not what they do. They don't make movies and satire and everything else to try to sway an election. Oh, yes, they do. And as a matter of fact, it was NPR who was questioning Sacha Baron Cohen and is like, this is kind of dirty and sleazy what you're doing. I mean, it kind of feels that way. I mean, are you cool with that? Okay, maybe that's my words. Let's see what, I don't know who the person at NPR was that asked the questions. I have to find out. Not that I don't really care that much. But it was somebody from NPR. And here is how the conversation went.
Do you ever feel like what you're doing is in a kind of ethically gray area by telling people one thing that isn't true, by basically lying about who you are and what you're doing and why you're there? Like my impression of you is that you're a very moral person. So what is your compass in figuring out how to handle situations like that and what is just and what is unjustified? Okay, so she's like to Sacha Baron Cohen, right? Borat, remember the Borat movies, the ones that try to set people up to embarrass them and make them look stupid and silly and you don't know the context or anything, but when it shows up in the movies, it makes you look like an adult and as long as it works for them to rig an election, where is your moral compass? I dare I ask, does the left even have a moral compass? What is your morality? If you're the same party who wants to put somebody like Becerra in charge of Health and Human Services, who thinks that abortion and I got to come up with this quote because it was Mitt Romney of all people who was questioning Xavier Becerra about his. Here it is. Opposing a ban on late-term abortion. I mean, this is the same party of morality who's putting somebody in charge who's like, we can find common ground on abortion, right? No, we can't. How do you find common ground when you're taking somebody's life? Late-term abortion, come on, we can find common ground. I mean, I'll tell you what, you give us a little bit of that and I'll give you a little. No. So what does Sacha Baron Cohen say? Somebody who I guess NPR feels like this is somebody moral, but you're lying to people. Like it's a flat out lie. Like, why are you doing this?
Those are the discussions that we have in the writers' room continually. Is this ethical? What's the purpose of this scene? is it just to be funny? Is there some satire? Is that satire worth it? You know, and when you're doing stuff like a gun rally and you could get shot. Yeah, morally, it's very clear.
Oh, it's very clear, because if you go to a gun show, everybody, you could get shot. I mean, it's something that happens every single gun show, every single time. Every one of them it happens at.
Or if you're undermining one of Trump's inner circle, whose sole aim is to undermine the legitimacy of the election.
In other words, he did this because he knew that it could help to turn the election, and that's why he did it. And it doesn't matter if he lies. It doesn't matter if he says things like, we got to convince people that we're not white supremacists because, you know, that's the narrative that's out there. Doesn't that feel like the same thing where Sacha Baron Cohen is like, it's talking about, yeah, I lied. Yeah, I do these things.
The movie came out a couple of hours before the final presidential debate. On that day, Rudy Giuliani was in charge of undermining President Biden. Well, at that point, he was not President Biden, with this hard drive of material that was supposedly showing that Biden was part of a crime family.
Do you see this? He is admitting that he used the movie to destroy Rudy Giuliani and his credibility and the president and Republicans, and because he didn't want that information to come out about and get into details about what had happened at that moment in time, which was the laptop, which was Hunter Biden, the laptop, the connections, China Joe, the connections. Don't tell us that Hollywood doesn't do that, because they do. And I asked the question, and I'm just going to put this out there before we go to Drew's College, and it's very simple. It's this. Sacha Baron Cohen just flat out lies and admits that everything that he's doing, he did because he wanted to swing an election. At the same time, you have Liz Cheney, who's telling everybody that we got to convince everybody that we're not white supremacists. I'm not. I don't have to convince anybody of this. But you fall into that narrative. And I'm just asking, what good does that do for Liz Cheney to say that when we already have enough problems with the left and the media who are doing what they're doing to try to upend our constitutional republic? Thanks, but no thanks. All right, let's do it. Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you were in a PhD. Call in number 9 right now at 239-479-5592. The 9th caller is going to win a $50 gift card to the Naughty Hog Backyard Barbecue with 3 locations in Collier. Their latest is at the shops in Vanderbilt. It's a great barbecue for you, and you get to play Drew's College next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News right all along. DrewSteele.com, the website you can watch, and we appreciate you doing that. And let's get to your calls coming up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Does market turbulence and economic turmoil have you worried about your retirement nest egg? I'm Alfie Townsend. Learn how to navigate these uncertain times. Tune in to Saving the Investor radio show every Saturday at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
This is Lois. At Wink News, we're on the phone. We're on the beat. We're on the scene.
We're working every angle. We're working for you.
From breaking news to the Weather Authority.
More than 60 years of reporting excellence is a reputation earned. How do we do what we do?
Sorry, I can't talk right now. Sorry, I'm too busy.
We tell you how we're doing it.
Sorry, I'm on assignment right now. I'm on a deadline.
If we weren't so busy doing it.
Getting it first. Getting it right.
Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
Next, Rachel.
I love it when a plan comes together.
You can call this the Parm Plan.
Just the right amount of mozzarella, too. Hold that.
A super classic eggplant parm.
It's gonna be delicious.
Then, Superstore's Lauren Ash has an interesting game plan for game night.
So what you're telling me is that this point system benefits the people who answer the question last?
Plus, a pup date on Muttville's Senior Dog Rescue. Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
Keeping your home and business cool is a struggle, but now you can be the insider on how it all works and how to keep it running when the heat is on. Join Matt and Justin from Island Air right here on Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. for the Island Air Hour, providing quick and effective solutions for commercial and residential air conditioning and heating systems. If you have a question about your system, you can call us right now at 239-747-1550, and we'll be glad to help. Serving Southwest Florida since 1972.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right. Oh, boy. Let's go to Les in Fort Myers. Hello, Les. Less is more today. Hello, Les.
Hey, Drew. It's 3 E's. How are you, sir?
Thank you for that. I'm fine. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. Less is more. Tell me, what are the 2 parts of the United States Congress?
The Republican and, the House of Representatives and the Senate.
That is correct, sir. No, it's you get nervous. The first question, that's typically what happens. Now we're on a roll, Les. All right, you got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. What does the I in CIA stand for?
Intelligence.
That is correct, sir. All right, so you got a bachelor's. We'll see. Jake laughed. He even got that one himself. All right, so your bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question right here. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803?
Louisiana Purchase?
That is correct, sir. It's the Louisiana Territory, and you got to say it right. It's Louisiana.
Sorry, Louisiana.
Yeah, we got to work on that. Okay. You got a master's degree. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. What is the name of the rights given to a criminal suspect?
Miranda?
That is correct, sir. Jake knew that one right out of the gate. That's right. Your Miranda rights. Look at that. Yeah, I question why he knew that so well. All right, well, congratulations there, Les. Less is more today. You got a PhD today on Drew's College, and not only that, you got yourself a $50 gift card to the Naughty Hog Backyard Barbecue, 3 locations. One of them is brand new at the shops at Vanderbilt in Naples. Great location for barbecue, so congratulations to you, Les. Great job.
Thanks, sir.
No, thank you, sir. And stay right there. Don't move. I mean, you can move, just don't go anywhere. All right, Steve Dace is coming up. You know him from the Blaze TV. He's got a great... What are you looking at me like that for?
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. Sorry.
It's okay. How do you now? You know it well because of TV. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's cops and what was it? The PD show that they stopped playing.
The PD show that they stopped playing.
Live PD.
Live PD.
Is it still on? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Okay. No, that's good. I'm glad that you know your Miranda rights. That's excellent. All right, Steve Dace coming up. Stay break, 92.5 Fox News. By the way, we will be live at CPAC tomorrow and Friday. You can watch at drewsteele.com.
This is Daybreak.
92.5 Fox News.
Mason Classical Academy is excited to announce that they are under contract to purchase a high school campus site in North Naples. Conveniently located near I-75 and Immokalee Road, MCA seeks to open this college prep high school campus in the fall of 2021. Available tuition-free to all families, regardless of income or zip code. Mason Classical Academy's proven track record is in high demand, and this new North Naples High School campus will allow more students to receive the successful and proven model of education. The MCA North Naples campus is second to none, including fully equipped science labs, modern computer labs, and college-style classrooms. Instead of focusing on state testing, they teach students how to think, not what to think. And MCA education promotes patriotism and a true understanding of history. Do you crave such an education for your high schooler? If so, Mason Classical Academy is the answer. Learn the true, do the good, love the beautiful. Sign up to reserve a seat for your child by visiting masonacademy.com today.
Hello, I'm Brian Resney, president of Resney Wealth Management and host of the Resney Wealth Report and TV show on the weekends.
Investors come to my TV and radio shows to learn and to get educated so they can make better decisions about their retirement and their portfolio. What's your risk management strategy? Are you willing to subject your portfolio to another massive decline in a set it and forget it strategy, or are you looking for a difference? Listen to my show Sunday mornings, 10 to noon on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
There is nothing that changes as much as tax law. After all, there have been tax changes, stimulus dollars, changes on the changes, but they're all meant to put more money in your pocket. Don't make a mistake that could cost you thousands. Let EG Tax be your tax interpreter and guide. Come join the EG Tax family at their Naples office across from Tamiami Ford. Call 239-262-2009. That's 262-2009. Or click egtax.com. That's egtax.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
He has a lot of healing to do before he can golf again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. We did get an update late last night after Tiger Woods' bad car crash.
The words we were all hoping to hear. That Twitter message referring to Tiger says, quote, he is currently awake, responsive, and recovering in his hospital room.
After surgeons put rods and screws and pins in Woods' badly broken right leg down to his foot and ankle.
Questions, too, this morning about what led to the accident. Speed may have been a factor on a winding downhill road, but the sheriff said there was no sign of drink or drugs being involved.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt outside the UCLA Medical Center. A continued setback for President Biden. The same federal judge who initially blocked his order putting a 100-day moratorium on most deportations has made that ban now indefinite. And there's a new Biden order, not border-related, coming today. Fox's Rachel Sutherland has more live.
Dave, how much are U.S. firms relying on foreign suppliers like China for pharmaceuticals and other goods, including semiconductors to power cars, phones, and military equipment? President Biden is expected to sign an executive order directing review of supply chains with the possibility of increasing domestic production. The move comes after a shortfall of critical personal protective gear for healthcare workers and as automakers deal with a shortage of computer chips. Major U.S.-based automakers have been coping by canceling shifts, slowing assembly line speeds, or temporarily closing facilities. Dave?
Rachel, there were more protests last night in Rochester, New York, after a grand jury decided not to charge police officers involved in the death of Daniel Prude last March. State Attorney General Letitia James called it disappointing and said that they still, though, have to abide by the decision. Prude was found naked on a street in a distress call, then put in a protective hood, and when video came out months later, it led to protests. An officer suspended and a police chief stepped down. America's listening to Fox News.
So much is happening.
Traffic.
A crash on the interstate at mile marker 141. Emergency vehicles on scene. It is a bad crash here. So if you are heading southbound towards Palm Beach Boulevard, really make sure to just use lots of extra caution. Leland Heights westbound is shut down in Lehigh Acres from a crash at 5th Avenue. This is heading west towards Richmond. You can take Maple Street to Shady Side. This will get you back onto Richmond. Also, a disabled vehicle at Lee and Alvin, backing up traffic on Lee Boulevard. Almost a mile of creep and crawl delays. West of Gunnery, stick to Leonard. The trip to the Minute Traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, after the coolest start, nice warm afternoon with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Highs will be topping out in the lower to middle 80s. A few limited showers can't be ruled out. Best opportunity for that will be inland and east of the interstate. We are looking fantastic for your Thursday. Highs in the 80s, mostly sunny, and it actually gets even warmer towards the weekend. A lot of beach and pool time expected. Plenty of sunshine, plenty of warm. Highs in the mid to upper 80s to even near 90. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is Florida's factory direct window company. We manufacture, install, and guarantee your windows for life. One company, one call. Our replacement windows are made to better enhance the energy efficiency of your home and stand up to Florida weather. New South Window, home of the ultimate Florida window for you. Made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
Going on now. Buy 2 windows, get a third free. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach. Did you know that every day 1,000 people move to Florida?
Many come from New York, and it's easy to see why, because Florida does it better. In Florida, we have a balanced budget, term limits, and a part-time legislature. Even though Florida has 3 million more residents, New York's annual budget is twice the size of Florida's. Here in Florida, we have no state income tax and a balanced budget. New York has a state income tax, but is still $13 billion in debt. When COVID hit, New York closed their economy, and it's still closed. But here in Florida, we're open for business. And finally, New York is governed by Democratic Socialists, but Florida's been governed by Republicans for over 3 decades. So if you moved here from New York, welcome home, and remember, the redder the state, the better the state. This is State Representative Spencer Roach. I'm proud to be a Floridian. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
Why wait for so-called one-time refund relief from big insurance companies when you can get the best prices and coverages all day, every day, all year round from Chapman Insurance Group? Hi, this is Brian Chapman, and my team is committed to finding you the most efficient coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Hi, Michael Crothers, owner of Pure Air Conditioning. Now that our economy is reopened and to help the community, we've decided to offer a safe $29 AC maintenance. All Pure Air employees are supplied with gloves, foot coverings, and KN95 masks for your and their protection. Find us online at getpureair.com to schedule your safe $29 AC maintenance. Join me every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for the Get Pure Air radio show. I'll be talking about everything from air conditioning maintenance to troubleshooting tips.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live at drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. If you want to go to the website, it's mobile friendly. It's set up that way. It's pretty basic. It's straightforward. It was built by a millennial, so it's just a simple page. It doesn't have anything really on it except the video. That's it. And so you can go there and watch on your smart phone, your smart device. And we appreciate it. Steve Deace is the best. Steve Deace Show. Joining us this morning on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, Blaze TV. Oh, boy. There's nothing better than to have Steve Deace on the program to talk about all the things that are happening in the news lately, because he's fired up. He's always fired up. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, where do I want to start? Hey, you want to talk about critical race theory? You want to talk about how apparently you have some white guilt that we need to clear up a little bit. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I wonder, when should I? First of all, I don't believe in white guilt for the same reason I don't believe in white pride. I'm not a racist, but I'm trying to consider when, Drew, I was given some white privilege. Maybe it was the time I was born to a poor white trash 15-year-old mom who lived with a twice divorced single mom herself. Or maybe it was the time growing up that I was on reduced lunches in school. Maybe it was when we were on food stamps and ADC. Maybe it was those times I ate government cheese. Maybe it's when my mom had to drop out of school because she had a baby and had to go back and get her GED. How about the time they threw me out of university because I tried to major in intramural basketball, Super Tecmo Bowl, and girls for an entire semester and didn't attend a single class? It's weird. They didn't say to me, you know what, because you're white, we're going to let you get away with being a non-student. No, they threw me out of university for that. So was it when I worked for Manpower Temp Agency for about a year doing a series of odd jobs? No, it's not Manhole. That's the gay bar. I worked at Manpower, the temp agency. I just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you.
So I'm trying to think of, how about when I married my wife, I worked in the mailroom at Blue Cross Blue Shield. That was my full-time job. I got started in media working at the very bottom of the Des Moines Register as a part-time news assistant, helping to compile the agate page. For those of you that don't remember what that used to be, it was the section of the newspaper at the end of the sports section with everything in such small writing that nobody read it. So I'm just trying to think of when did I receive this privilege that I'm supposed to feel guilty about, because I don't really see too much evidence of it in my life.
Yeah, and it brings me to really what my show has been today about, and I'm so happy to have you on because how you articulate all of this, no one does it better. The questions I have, a couple of them. Number one is, when we have a Boston University law school that's creating the first critical race theory professorship in the country, we come to realize now that our kids are going to be taught that this will be what we say it will be, and you will accept it, period, no discussion. That's just the way it is. I mean, that's what we're told. And not only are we told to sit down and shut up, but we're also told that it's going to be taught this way. We're going to have generations that will grow up now being, well, we hope not, that will be taught that this is the way it is. And, the first reaction of people that I talk to is, how are we going to stop this, Steve? How are we going to stop it from happening? Not only what we're told to think and who we are, but when we have universities that are now creating professorships so that they will teach it, how do you fight back?
Well, I think the answer to your question is the same answer to COVID fascism. Now, you and I, according to an index that Oxford University put out yesterday, I live in Iowa, you live in Florida. We live in two of the freest states in the union right now, but we're anomalies to the rest of the country. So the same answer goes for COVID fascism, election integrity, everything else. The reality is, Drew, that if you believe that there is a sovereign God, and if we are, by constitutional law and precedent, a free people, then we have as much tyranny as we are willing to tolerate. Right. This government by the consent of the governed. What does that mean? We have consented to this. The critical race theory thing is actually nothing new. This is the next stage of evolution to the political correctness that dawned in the universities in the early 90s when I was, I guess, kind of going to one. This is just the next iteration. It's the same thing with children. I used to read my kids a book when they were little. If you give a mouse a cookie.
Yeah.
So we gave them political correctness. And we gave, and we gave, and we gave. And eventually they were just going to end up here. And if we give them this, then we're just going to end up in another more dastardly place a decade or two from now. At some point, what's left of America, I said this on my show about COVID fascism yesterday. You guys are waiting for some all clear. You're sitting around waiting for the day President Biden or Anthony Fauci jumps up and says, all right, we're good, head on back. It's never coming.
Right.
It's never coming. You have to get up off your ass and reclaim your way of life. You have to be like those restaurateurs in Carlsbad, California, that said last week, 600 of them, we're not doing this anymore. You can't arrest us all. That should have happened in Billings, Montana. That should have happened in Spokane, Washington, Kansas City, Missouri. You know what I'm saying here?
Yes.
Scottsdale, Arizona. That should have happened in about 70 places by now in America. Yeah. Why have we walk into any blue state and be some right-wing college professor and say, hey, this is a new itemized issue on our budget for funding this year from the state legislature that we're going to be talking about why life begins at conception. And that's going to be part of our curriculum here. Dude, Democrats would lose their damn mind. You wouldn't get one plug nickel of funding.
Right.
So why do we fund all this stuff? Why do we vote for people who fund all this stuff? This idea that we just have to sit here and kind of take it is a prison cell we have put ourselves in. And that's the reality of it. Nothing will stop it until we stop it.
Right. Steve Deace joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Of course, he has Steve Deace Show. You can follow him on Twitter at Steve Deace Show and Blaze TV. And he is fantastic as we're talking about, listen, a lot of different things that are in the news. And I had to ask you about this because when this popped up on my radar, and I brought it up a little earlier, when Liz Cheney says that we have to make clear we aren't the party of white supremacy, am I crazy, or is she feeding into the left's narrative? She's giving them everything on a plate. It's like, Senator, how long have you been beating your wife? She's giving it to them. And how
you're dealing with a politician that hates her base, number one. Number two, she knows she's gone. So Liz Cheney is not unique. This is who most of the Republican Party, including the guy who runs the Senate over there, this is who most of them are.
Right.
If you put Wonder Woman's lasso of truth on them, what do they really think of their base? And listen, you see this, Drew, in conservative media. The amount of people who until recently in conservative media basically slurped all over Anthony Fauci as he has been lying to this country since last April.
Yep.
Because there's an element of conservative media, and this is part and parcel with what vis-a-vis goes on in the Republican Party, that is ashamed of its base and feels as if it's their job to police them, to adult you, that you can't handle these things, that you're too nuts, too crazy, and if they give you what you want, we'll all get deplatformed and lose our cushy jobs. And so it's our job. We're your gatekeepers. And this pattern has repeated itself for years. And that's if they're not grifters, by the way, because this industry and party is loaded with grifters. It ruined the Tea Party. It destroyed Reagan's legacy. On and on and on. This has gone for years and years and years. I mean, what you're learning now about the Lincoln Project, I was fighting those guys in Republican primaries 10 years ago.
Right.
They're not new. Stephen Schmidt ran John McCain's national campaign. Okay? I mean, he was this Karl Rove. So this has been a false flag operation for a long, long time. The presence of Trump, there was just something really unique about Trump where people longed to, in his presence, to expose to you just how tactastic and douche-tastic they truly are. And so this is now all out in the open now. But for those of us that have been in the trenches of this for many, many years, we knew this. But now it's out in the open of the public now.
Yeah.
Liz Cheney is legion, and I use that pun intentionally. And she knows that she's gone, so she's going to tell you what she really thinks and what she thinks of her base on the way out the door.
Right.
And you're right. She's providing talking points for them. Future MSNBC contributor Liz Cheney is coming your way. You bet. All right. But you need to understand, she's not an isolated incident, not by a long shot.
Right. And, to your point, ultimately, we have to not accept what the left or even some quote unquote Republicans and on the right individuals tell us we are, put the label on us. What is their truth as opposed to the truth? We don't accept that. Mm-hmm. And it's nice to say that, Steve. It's great that we have this conversation and there are people that agree. But if you're not doing the work of making sure that these people are not elected, that you, even in your sphere, even in your circle of influence, because that's, like you mentioned, I mean, that's where it's going to change. It's going to be us, particularly in our sphere of influence, and everybody has one, to articulate this view and to be able to make sure that our kids we at least supplement their education with the facts and be able to and be willing to do that. But if we're not, then none of this changes. None of it.
That's exactly right. I mean, what you just touched on is, every year we kind of have a vision or slogan for the show just to evolve it. Yep. And my two favorite bands are the Beatles and U2, and they're constantly evolving themselves. And so I try to emulate that so we don't get stale. And our mission, our vision for this year is the answer is us. Enough sitting around waiting for some Washington politician or this is now the Republicans, hey, they got the Senate majority. We don't have 60 seats. They got 60 seats. Well, we don't have enough House members. You got 400 members, 435 Republican majorities in the House. Well, we need a Supreme Court. Yeah. You got 6 Supreme Court nominees. Well, we need all 9. I mean, they just keep moving the bar on why they can't do a damn thing.
Right.
You know what, though? Here's the thing. We have to do these things. That's what self-government is. It begins with the self. We have to do these things. And it takes efforts like what we've seen from a grassroots perspective in my state, where we have been one of the freest states all along in this process. Our governor, Kim Reynolds, has done a fantastic job navigating this. But what I love to see is the first day of the Iowa legislature back in January, she faced a protest from her own base in the Capitol Rotunda refusing to wear masks, meaning that, you don't ever stop disciplining your own children, right? No matter how much you love them, you don't ever stop coaching your team. You just won a big game. Well, you don't just rest on that and act like, well, I guess the next game doesn't matter. And that's what it takes to self-govern. You don't stop governing these people. You think they govern us. Yeah. No, we're to govern them. We have ceded our authority over to them. We've abrogated our power as a citizenry over to them. We have consented to them ruling us. What we need to do is you want Ron DeSantis to continue to be the fantastic governor he is right now? Keep hitting him from the right.
Yeah.
Because all the other ways he has to be incentivized is to move to the left.
Yes.
Right? There needs to be no one gets worse with accountability, Drew, in any walk of life. Not a husband, not a father, not a mother, not a child, not a player, a student. No one gets worse with accountability, Drew.
Right, and so spot on. Like, Steve, what are we afraid of? Like, why would you worry if there are no golden calves? None, zero. So why would you worry about questioning from the right, like you say? Why would you question some of the things if you're concerned about what's going on with our governor? As great as he is, nobody's perfect, and you have to keep them aware of what it is that we want.
When he's unduly attacked, unfairly attacked, you should defend your guy.
Yeah.
But when he's wrong, you should not.
Right.
And
it's okay.
Listen, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's totally okay, because you know what? He's a human being. Right. I happen to think if he ain't the best governor in America right now, he's damn close.
Yeah.
But he ain't the most perfect governor.
No.
And you want to know why? I'll guarantee you that one of the reasons why our governor was the first to rescind a mask mandate a month ago is because when you show up the first day of the legislative session and there's hundreds of activists in your own base sitting in your rotunda basically doing a mask burning, that's going to get your attention, right?
Yeah.
Because everywhere else Kim Reynolds is going to go every day. Is she going to be incentivized to be more or less authoritarian? More.
Right.
That's where, if you want her to be less of an authoritarian, you need to incentivize her your way. And the same thing goes for your governor and every place else. And that's why, by the way, look at your state. Before this one, the last 11 presidential elections in your state were decided by an average of 2.5 points. Trump won it by 4.5 points, which is a downright landslide historically in your state.
Right.
It's the most expensive, pivotal swing state in the country. And yet Ron DeSantis right now looks like the most conservative governor in the union. That should be not the case. He can't do anything without blowback in a state as divided and polarized as yours.
Yeah.
It should not be possible that Ron DeSantis is to the right of Kay Ivey in Alabama. That should not be possible. It should not be possible that he's to the right of the Republican governor in Missouri, which has one of the highest church attendance in the general populations left in the country. No way he should be to the right to the governor of Utah. That's not possible.
Yeah.
And so that is a shame on them. In those states where there's, I think, 3 Democrats in Wyoming, literally, like they're in a ditch somewhere. All right. In a state like that those ought to be places that are literally California. Every one of those states should be the right wing California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. And so then I guess the big question, Steve, becomes this then, and you kind of brought it up. So I just wanted to ask, is that one of the biggest problems we have? Not you necessarily, but in general, we need to fight like they fight. Is that fair?
Here's why we don't, Drew. There's 2 reasons we don't. You're right, we do, but we need to confront why we don't.
Okay.
One is laudable. This isn't our religion; it's theirs.
Right.
We have more children than they do. We own more small businesses than they do. We're not as subsidized as they are. We don't have time for this, and so it's good not to turn it into idolatry. That is good, but to everything there is a time and a season. And this is a season now that we need to be more intensely involved in the process. As John Adams once said, I study war so my children can study the arts. All right? And that's we're in a season now where we need to be a little less focused on what, inheritance or lack of debt will I leave behind for my children in our personal life to what kind of country am I going to leave behind for them? So those things are even, points of contention. That's number one. The second part, though, is not as laudable. We have built an incestuous, insulated little subculture here where we are too aware of how marginalized we are in pop culture and the media. And so we allow ourselves to be satisfied with plankton, We're Esau's. We're just hungry all the time, and so let's just get the pot of stew now rather than our birthright. And so we love low-lying fruit, owning the libs, clickbait. Chris Christie one time in the early days of YouTube dresses down some little communist teacher at a meeting at a town hall, becomes an international sensation. We think, wow, this is our new superstar. 15 years later, that guy's still a pain in our ass. He's still a problem. Right. We do this constantly. Trey Gowdy's one of these guys, all hat, no cattle. All right, pulled Hillary Clinton's panties down once at a Benghazi hearing. That's the only damn thing he's done his entire political career. Hasn't shown up for a single fight we've cared about before or since. But that gets him a lifetime exemption to be on Fox News. We have to stop doing this. All right, we create all of these insignificant, where it's just anything that gives us affirmation, anything that gives us titillation politically. We essentially want political porn instead of an actual relationship that is satisfying and fulfilling. And we have to stop doing this. And I say this as somebody who works in conservative media, whose career is driven by clicks and all those sorts of things. But the reality is we have to make a choice. Yep. And that is, what's our priority? A paycheck today or a country tomorrow? And I think we have to make that choice, because I'm also a conservative media and a conservative political consumer. At the same time, I'm a content producer and an activist. So I see both sides of this. And so somewhere there is a balance, because we also do live in a viral world, and Donald Trump did show that hoisting people from their own petards and viral moments can produce political benefit at the exact same time. But it's almost as if we produce these moments just for the sheer enjoyment of it, so we can go talk to our buddy Whisper about how we're closeted conservatives at the water cooler. Yeah. And did you really see how Hannity really just nailed them last night? Yeah, that's great, cool. And then we go back tomorrow and still complain about why our kids are being taught critical race theory. Right. At some point, we have to realize that it's not about the next election. It's about the next generation. The other side is over there playing a game called existence. We're playing typical political back and forthism. That's not going to cut it. We have to understand the seriousness of the stakes here.
Yeah. Steve Deace, you are the best. Steve Deace Show, Blaze TV, of course, and his show is amazing. And, anytime we have a few minutes with you, it's awesome. So we appreciate you so much. And we'll do this again soon, okay, my friend?
You bet. Very kind words. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Right. God bless.
All the best. 239-479-5592. He's great. He's great. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along. Traffic. Sabrina Katz.
A crash on the interstate at mile marker 141. Emergency vehicles on scene. It is a bad crash here. So if you are heading southbound towards Palm Beach Boulevard, really make sure to just use lots of extra caution. Leland Heights westbound is shut down in Lehigh Acres from a crash at 5th Avenue. This is heading west towards Richmond. You can take Maple Street to Shady Side. This will get you back onto Richmond. Also, a disabled vehicle at Lee and Alvin, backing up traffic on Lee Boulevard. Almost a mile of creep and crawl delays. West of Gunnery, stick to Leonard. The trip to the Minute Traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News, now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, after the cool start, high temperature of 83 degrees, mixture of sunshine and clouds. A few limited areas of rain will be possible, especially inland. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Trust. It's not a concept. It's a commitment.
Reliable and honest every single day.
At Wink News, we're committed to reporting the news that matters for you.
Thank you for trusting Wink News. This is a big story.
And that affects you.
We're coming to you live.
Because if we're asking for your trust, we will continue our commitment to be trustworthy.
The reason people trust us is the people that work here.
With 6 decades in the community, trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
On the next Drew Barrymore show, Design Week continues. What are we making today? With quick tips on creating contemporary spaces. And full frontal, Samantha Bee. Plus Ben Platt. He's bringing Broadway to the big screen. Dear Evan Hansen, I love this play so much. All new Drew.
Drew, today at 3 on Wink.
Hi, this is John Lawrence with CGU Homes, residential home builder in Southwest Florida. Born and raised right here in Naples and part of the building industry for over 2 decades, I've been fortunate enough to witness firsthand incredible growth within our community. Here at CGU Homes, we understand that a real estate investment in Southwest Florida is an investment into your future. Naples is booming, and with a limited inventory and an exceptional level of demand, now is the right time to build new or renovate your existing home. Our team at CGU Homes will make the building process enjoyable and seamless, from offering free pre-construction services to building genuine relationships that last a lifetime. We are proud of our reputation that is built on a foundation of trust and reliability. When you're ready to start your lifelong memories with a new build or a remodel of your existing home, please visit us online at cguhomes.com. That's cguhomes.com. And God bless the USA.
Minutes still matter when it comes to medical emergencies. In some cases, fast care can be life-saving, especially for heart attacks and strokes. So don't delay or be afraid to get help if you need it. Physicians Regional Healthcare System is safe and ready to care for you, with limited entry points, screening for everyone, deep cleaning, and social distancing. We're taking extra precautions to help keep you safe. Don't put off emergency care. Visit ercarephysiciansregional.com or call 911 in an emergency.
We believe in better. A better way to invest, a better way to serve you, and a better result. We can help you determine how much risk you're taking, red flags that could be potential problems for you, how much you're paying in fees or commissions, potential tax liability, or even how to address Social Security.
Tune in to WealthWorks Radio with Eric Carney, Saturdays at 6 a.m., Sundays at 9 a.m., right here on 92.5 Fox News Radio.
Aaron Walker here. Looking for quality tires at a discount price? Hey, look no further. We got you covered at the all-new Naples Nissan Discount Tire Center. Sedan tires starting at $69 per tire, or $388 for a set of 4. SUV tires starting at $87 per tire, or $448 for a set of 4. Mounting and balance included, folks. Over 800 tires in stock, all major brands for all makes and models. That's right. We've got tires for all makes and models. Yes, the all-new Discount Tire Center may be located here at Naples Nissan, but we'll hook up that Toyota, Ford, or Chevy you're driving too. Southwest Florida, if you need new tires, regardless of what kind of car you're driving, you're definitely going to want to check out the grand opening sale we got going on here at the brand new Naples Nissan Discount Tire Center on Pine Ridge Road, or visit naplesnissan.com. Offers on select brands and models. Cannot be combined and excludes tax and shop fees. See dealer for details.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato's Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News traffic.
A crash on the interstate at mile marker 141. Emergency vehicles on scene. It is a bad crash here. So if you are heading southbound towards Palm Beach Boulevard, really make sure to just use lots of extra caution. Leland Heights westbound is shut down in Lehigh Acres from a crash at 5th Avenue. This is heading west towards Richmond. You can take Maple Street to Shady Side. This will get you back onto Richmond. Also, a disabled vehicle at Lee and Alvin, backing up traffic on Lee Boulevard. Almost a mile of creep and crawl delays. West of Gunnery, stick to Leonard. The trip to the Minute Traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, after the cooler start, nice warm afternoon with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Highs will be topping out in the lower to middle 80s. A few limited showers can't be ruled out. Best opportunity for that will be inland and east of the interstate. We are looking fantastic for your Thursday. Highs in the 80s, mostly sunny, and it actually gets even warmer towards the weekend. A lot of beach and pool time expected. Plenty of sunshine, plenty of warm. Highs in the mid to upper 80s to even near 90. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
Steven Tomatoes, Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Hi,
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. They say love and passion makes the world go round. Love for home, family, your country, partner, a friend, and love for food. Stevie wants to be part of your love with our food, drink, sports, and fun. Our passion for your satisfaction brings our love to all of our great customers. Whether it's our brisket short rib burgers, Chicago pizza, fajitas, wings, fish fry, or ribs, it's delivered to your table with love. So at Stevie's, we invite you to share our love of great food, drinks, sports, and fun. You'll never get bored or broke. We feel loved by the sound of our great customers. We promise to treat you like family, at your home away from home. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
All tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for people of good conscience to remain silent. These days, a statement like that might get you banned from Twitter. Who said it? That radical Thomas Jefferson. I'm Lori Roman, president of the American Constitutional Rights Union, and this is a Live Free Minute. After more than 200 years of enjoying free speech, the current cancel culture has Americans fearful of expressing themselves. The First Amendment to the Constitution was written to stop the government from infringing on the God-given right of every American to express their views. We pledge that we will not remain silent. Please join ACRU in standing up against cancel culture, because without free speech, we can't live free. This Live Free Minute is brought to you by American Constitutional Rights Union, a national nonprofit organization in Naples, Florida. If you'd like to learn more about our work, visit livefreeminute.org. livefreeminute.org.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Happy Valentine's sale. This is Marty.
Chevy buyers are kissing your deals goodbye, Marty.
No, they're not.
Yeah, everybody's hooking up with Victory Lane Chevrolet.
Okay,
it's like a marriage made in Detroit.
I think they're made in Warren, Michigan.
Okay, wherever. Point is, Victory Lane Chevy has fantastic deals during their Sweetheart Savings Event. 500 to choose. It's love at first sight, Marty.
Hey, stop, would you?
Everybody finds their perfect match.
Just stop.
On hundreds of Victory Lane Silverados and Equinoxes. That's plural for Equinox, right?
Who knows?
Or is it Equini? During Victory Lane Chevrolet's Sweetheart Savings Event, fall in love with a new Chevy today. Kiss your old trade goodbye. And say hello to new 2021 Chevy Silverados. Just $375 a month with 0 down. New 2021 Traverse, just $389 a month, 0 down. And you'll never be brokenhearted with our goal of 100% credit approvals. We'll see you at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com. Find new roads. Stock number SC1148 and E1006. 39-month lease, 10K miles per year. Taxes and fees extra. All rebates to dealer. Offers for current lessees with approved credit and do not combine. Expires 2/28/2021.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Are you driving down the road right now with back or neck pain or pain into your arms or legs? Maybe your struggle is getting out of your bed or chair. Maybe you get weakness when you put weight on your leg or swing your golf club. It's time you address this problem once and for all. At Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, these are the conditions that we treat every day, except we treat the root of the problem. No injections or pain meds. Non-surgical spinal decompression, recognized around the country for incredible statistical results for long-term pain relief. Break the cycle of pain from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, arthritis, or car accidents. Non-surgical spinal decompression can get your life back. Spinal decompression is safe and comfortable for any age and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. Don't hurt anymore when the answer is only a phone call away. Call our Medicare-friendly office, Johnston Spinal Care, for a free telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Unless you want more of your hard-earned dollars going to the government, you need to pay attention to what I'm about to say. Now, the president's tax cuts, they may be on the way out, and it's not just your income taxes that could go up. That's why you should call my friend Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group. Call now, 239-747-1163.
Investment advisory services offered through Townsend Advisory Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor in Florida.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, do not forget, coming up tomorrow and Friday, live from CPAC, you'll get a chance to watch it all before your very eyes. Live, you'll see the guests, you'll see what's happening around the building. Remember, the president will be there speaking on Sunday, I believe, over the weekend. So CPAC, we will be there. Tomorrow, the broadcast you can watch at drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. So drewsteele.com, the website, and it's mobile friendly, so you can watch on the go. So we're looking forward to that. And taking your phone calls coming up. Don't forget, anything you want to talk about that leads us right to the end of the program. If you want to call, doesn't matter what the topic is, I'm game. It's the thing. It's your thing. Whatever your thing is. We'll talk about the thing coming up. First, the top 5 audio clips of the day. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
Speaker Pelosi has asked retired Lieutenant General Russell Honore to lead an immediate review of Capitol security in light of the attack. The general has said that the leadership of the Capitol Police, that'd be you, Mr. Sund, and both of you, gentlemen, the House and Senate Sergeants at Arms, he's criticized you for, and I'm quoting now, the appearance of complicity during the attack, and also said that you were potentially undertook complicit actions. Those are his words during the attack. Mr. Sund, were you complicit in this attack on January 6th?
Absolutely not, sir. I've heard those comments as well, and I think it's disrespectful to myself and to the members of the Capitol Police Department.
Nothing to see here. Everything is fine. It's the first day, the January 6th breach, the U.S. Capitol, the hearing that took place yesterday where Senator Josh Hawley was asking the former U.S. Capitol Police Chief, Stephen Sund, is it true that Nancy Pelosi, who had Lieutenant General retired Russell Honore, review the security posture surrounding the breach, and he says, hey, you guys were complicit. What do you say about that? He's deeply offended, and there's 2 sides to this story that's continuing on January 6th, and we're going to talk more in detail about that coming up.
Number 4.
Well, I was really surprised, and he's doing so well. He's getting the back in shape, and then a thing like this happens. He's had a big problem, as you know, with his back for a long period of time, and it's amazing. He won the Masters, and he won the Masters with a bad back, which tells you the level of talent is incredible. And he's been working on that, and then he has this happen. It's just tragic. He's overcome a lot, and but he's had an incredible life, and he's going to continue to have an incredible life. But now he'll recover from this. It's pretty bad on the legs, I understand, and he'll figure a way.
The former President Trump on Fox News yesterday talking about Tiger Woods, who was badly injured in a car crash, recovering from lengthy surgery to repair significant injuries to his right leg, as we are told. And the president's comments about Tiger Woods from yesterday. And as many have said, when it comes to recovery and Tiger Woods, you never count him out.
Number 3.
I'll tell you that when I come to these issues, I understand that we may not always agree on where to go, but I think we can find some common ground on these issues because everyone wants to make sure that if you have an opportunity, you're going to live a healthy life.
If you have an opportunity, you're going to live a healthy life. Nothing to see here. That is, who is that? The nominee for HHS, Becerra. Remember, it's Joe Biden who called Xavier Becerra, his name Becerra, right?
For Secretary of Health and Education Service, I nominated Xavier Becerra. Xavier Becerra, excuse me.
Okay. Yeah, that guy. When asked about late-term abortions and why would you object or to something that would move forward that would stop late-term abortions, he cares about life. He cares about the life of individuals, and we can find common ground. No, late-term abortions. No, we can't find common ground. We can't find common ground on abortions, period. No, the taking of a life, no common ground. Thanks very much.
Number 2.
It's very important for us to ignore the temptation to look away. And it's very important, especially for us as Republicans, to make clear that we aren't the party of white supremacy.
Hey, with friends like Liz Cheney in the Republican Party, who needs the left? You've got Liz Cheney, who clearly, as Steve Deace was mentioning a little earlier, feels like she knows she's on the way out. And so as the third-ranking Republican there in the House, decided not only to torch the former president, saying that he incited the mob and everything else on January 6th, but also saying, hey, listen, we've got to kind of feed right into the left's narrative that the Republican Party is a bunch of white supremacists, and we got to do something about it. What do we do about it? How do we convince people that we're not white supremacists? I'm not one. He's not one. You're not one. Jake's not one. We're not one. Nobody is one. But you're suggesting that somehow, as a party, if you're part of the party, then you're part of white supremacy. So how are we supposed to do that, Liz Cheney? How are we supposed to not only stop you from feeding into the left's narrative, but then when the left comes along and loves you for saying that, and it's all over the interwebs right now, what's your proposal? How do we do that? Legislation? You? As president? Tell us.
Number 1.
It's the same facility that was open for a month in the Trump administration, summer 2019. That is when Joe Biden said, under Trump, there have been horrifying scenes at the border of kids being kept in cages. And Kamala Harris said, basically, babies in cages is a human rights abuse being committed by the United States government. So how is this any different than that?
We very much feel that way. These are facilities. Let me be clear here. One, there's a pandemic going on. I'm sure you're not suggesting that we have children right next to each other in ways that are not COVID safe.
No. We're not doing that. Just to let you know, the first migrant facility for children opened under Joe Biden. The Washington Post puts out this lovely story. It comes to be that it's the same facilities that were there in 2019 that the former president put together, the ones that everybody was claiming were the kids in cages. And what do they do now? Now, all of a sudden, it's a beautiful migrant facility for children, and it's got so many wonderful things, and it's the same facility. You were the one. Oh, I can't do it.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
I can't do it. The hypocrisy on the left is unbelievable, but that's how it works. So there's a little bit of Jen Psaki, who's explaining to Peter Doocy, who's like, I don't understand. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, you all were talking about, and they were all talking about kids in cages, and this is immoral. This is a horrible thing. The Republicans are doing this. It's Trump that's doing it. And yet you took the same exact facility now and changed the name of it, and it's a beautiful migrant facility for children opening up under Joe Biden, and you don't seem to see that. Where's AOC when you need her screaming in front of a fence, telling everybody this is horrible?
I'm not the expert.
Yeah, we know. All right. Want to remind you that we're going to take your calls in just a second. Jake's on the phones right now, 239-479-5592. If you want to do the thing, whatever's on your mind, or we can do that. So why don't we do that? Let's do the thing.
You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing. You know the thing.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about? Here's Butch. Butch is in, where are you? You in Iowa? Is that where you are, Butch?
Hey, it's Butch. How's it going?
Hey, Butch. Where are you exactly?
I'm actually in Idaho. I made a mistake. I said Iowa. It's early in the morning, and I was looking at a computer, and I saw Iowa on there, and I just said Iowa. It's close to Idaho, but I live in Genesee. Idaho.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, Idaho, Iowa. It's easy to get confused. Anyway, but go ahead, Butch. What's on your mind?
Well, I was reading on Lon, and I love your show, by the way. Sorry, I'll get right to it, but I love you. I'm one of your bigger fans of your program, and but I was reading about they bring on the insurrection a false flag. Some of the people had a false flags, and maybe didn't do it necessarily for what everyone was saying, and it maybe means potentially Trump is win. Your thought? What would be your thoughts in that?
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I've got to run, Butch, but you can, if you don't mind, listen on there.
Why are you going?
No.
Don't leave. I've been waiting on hold so long and talk on you. It's been so long. Please don't go.
Okay.
Please don't go.
Okay. Stay there, Butch. All I was going to do is answer your question. I got a lot of folks that want to talk as well, so I wanted to make sure we were fair with time. But I'll tell you what, I'll hang out with you for just a minute. Is that okay?
Yeah, hang out with me for a couple minutes or whatever.
All right, so here we go.
I'll make some egg later.
Okay.
Some egg later.
Excellent. Scramble and put some cheese on them. It's good with cheese, right?
No. I lactose intolerant.
So I apologize. So, but here's the thing. Couple of things. The issues at the Capitol on January 6th, and my show today was called When is an Insurrection Not an Insurrection? And there are questions about this, like the great Julie Kelly in American Greatness, who has an article that I encourage you to read and others at amgreatness.com. It's called...
I don't want to be allowed to reread. What is Trump is lose, though, or is Trump is win maybe still going to be president? Or is
well, listen, you got 2024 there. And listen, Butch, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much. We've got so many other people that are calling, and I wanted to get to this point that 2024 possibly, you're looking at the president. Could he possibly run again in 2024? Listen, if the Democrats have their way, they certainly don't want him to be any part of that. But this article that I wanted to describe to you in American Greatness, no proof January 6th was a, quote, armed insurrection, unquote. Now, you might say that this is an outrageous thing to say. How dare you do this? I mean, you can't put this out there. This is what the left is saying. No. We told you what January 6th was. It was Trump supporters. It was an insurrection, period, and discussion. They were out there to kill senators. They were there to destroy. They were there to do all of these horrific things. Every single one of them was a Trump supporter. I mean, they were wearing MAGA hats and MAGA gear. How could you possibly believe that somebody would do something like this and not be a MAGA supporter and wear a MAGA hat? I mean, it would sizzle your skin if you put a hat. There's no way. It's impossible that anybody would impersonate a MAGA person. We're not allowed to talk about that. But there are many questions that people have. Julie Kelly was on with Tucker Carlson, and she was bringing some of these questions up. Fair questions to ask. Again, you're not allowed to tell us anymore. You in the media, you on the left, you Democrats, all of you together, because you're all the same. You are not allowed to tell us what to think. You are not allowed to tell us anymore what is and isn't the truth. Your truth is not the truth. You don't get to do that anymore. And so Julie Kelly was saying there were questions. I have questions. And she wrote this article about an armed insurrection. You keep saying this, but really, was it? And this is what she said on Tucker Carlson's show yesterday.
So, Tucker, I know that you will be shocked to learn that the armed insurrection trope that we've been hearing for the past 6 weeks is not true. Of the more than 200 people arrested so far, mostly with misdemeanors, trespassing, and disorderly conduct charges, only 14 people have been charged with any type of weapons violation. Only a handful of those people actually used any kind of weapon, pepper spray, a helmet, a riot shield against an officer or against the building, actually, not to downplay what they did. But Tucker, only 2 people have been charged with any kind of firearms violation. Now, when most people hear armed insurrection, they think of guns and ammunition and firearms.
and firearms. Yeah, that's the great Julie Kelly yesterday on Tucker Carlson, who was saying, look, did the idiots who used any sort of weapon to harm an officer or damage property deserve to pay for their stupid and violent actions? Yes. Was January 6, 2021 a, quote, armed insurrection, unquote, or anything else, or anything close? No. She reviewed the charges filed against more than 200 people arrested for criminal misconduct related to it. January 6th. Found only 14 defendants face any sort of weapons charge. Offenses vary. Indictments range from possession of a quote-unquote deadly weapon on restricted grounds to assaulting a police officer, but so far only 2 people have been charged with unlawful possession of a firearm, and there's no proof either man breached the Capitol, let alone threatened lawmakers as part of a coordinated armed insurrection. I encourage you to read this article, and what's the bottom line here? It's important to know that the narrative that has been put out there, that has been pushed and pushed and pushed about an insurrection, and Liz Cheney, who was convinced that it was Donald Trump who summoned the mob and he's the reason why, and the people that were dressed in MAGA gear. No way would somebody who planned something before would ever dress up in MAGA gear and impersonate MAGA supporters. And you see where I'm going with this? That we have questions. That ultimately, after you read this article, there are questions that need to be answered. And you cannot allow the left and Democrats and the media in this country to tell you what to think, tell you what the truth is, what their truth is and not the truth. Those days are over. We want investigations. We want to look into this. We want the facts. We want the data. We want the science. Dr. Fauci. We want all the answers. And then we lay them out bare and you let the chips fall where they do. And hopefully they're regular chips. They're not the fake kind of veggie chips that they got going on right now, which are really looks like. Anyway, all right, enough of me. We'll see you tomorrow at CPAC. Tomorrow and Friday, you'll see us live, drewsteele.com. Hope you'll go to the website to watch. Glenn Beck is next. Matt Devitt's got your forecast.
For today, after the cool start, high temperature of 83 degrees, mixture of sunshine and clouds. Few limited areas of rain will be possible, especially inland. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
There is nothing that changes as much as tax law. After all, there have been tax changes.